Hey yo, hey yo, hey yo. All right, come on now. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome, Guten Morgen. Hola. Let's do it, folks. Let's do it. Come on now. All are welcome. All are welcome. I mean, I guess all are welcome. I say that. I'm not sure I want all of YouTube's miscreants here on my show, just causing trouble. It's a lot of y'all, just troublemakers, ne'er-do-wells, trolls, goblins, ghouls, goths, fucking weirdos. Where do you people come from? What would you look like if I saw you in real life, like at the grocery store? Would you look like a fucking living ghoul? Miscreants, yeah. Misfits. Malcontents. Weird. Either way, let's do the show. I mean, let's do it. We don't have to make a big deal about it. We can just do a show. Doesn't have to be like a whole thing. All right, come on now. Let's get it going. Let's do it. There we go. Let's give him a good opening this morning. Is that the Brian O'Shea in the chat? Not sure. One never knows with all the sock accounts and such. But let's get started. Let's do it. 3, 2, 1. Good morning, everybody. Grand Rising, Grand Approach, and welcome to the show that seemingly never ends. It ends, but then we do it again. The show where we explore the deep, dark recesses of my consciousness. I know. It's not easy for me either. It's harder for me than it is for you to do this each morning, to go to the places that, that are a little scary, the shadow places of our consciousness, the places that exist right under the surface, the parts that we don't really want to show anybody. Well, I do it here. It's a learning experience for all of us. So welcome as we broadcast live and in living color to all you wonderful guys and dolls all around the level horizontal realm. Oh, what did he just say? Is he one of those flat earthers, weirdos? Let's not get started. At least not yet. Who's here? This is the fun part where I get to acknowledge all you wonderful folks. Music holds the secret, dropping in early with some Steely Dan and Rush quotes. Yeah. Rush, the spirit of radio. All this machinery making modern music can still be open-hearted, not so coldly charted. It's really just a question of your honesty. Yeah, your honesty. Good old Rush, the Canadian trio. Dare I say that Rush was the greatest thing ever produced by Canada? I think many of us could agree on that. What else really of value do we see coming from that utterly despotic, tyrannical, and otherwise pretty much intolerable country of Canada? Rush has to be your best product. Maybe maple syrup and I don't know, Molson Ice beer. I used to drink that. Besides that, Canada just seems horrible, especially that French Canada. That Western Canada, like British Columbia, I could probably tolerate a life and a lifestyle over there. But there's nothing you could do to get me to live in that French Canada. Could you imagine if my neighbors were like Patrick from OTW News and that Jason John Swartz guy? No, thank you. Although I must say the ladies are quite nice. So, who else is here? Spiritual Gathergood in the house. Much love, Dave O. Capricorni, Bear Jew, and O'Shea is here. I think. At least it's somebody purporting themselves or claiming to be Mr. Brian O'Shea. Who knows? Who knows? Jack streaming. Much love, Heidi. Divine Spirit 313. Sherelle Snow, much love, much love. Squirrel Sniper in the house. Ruled by Saturn, Sly Shy. It's up early this morning. Miss Sly Shy. It's hot around here, Sly Shy. Mid-90s for the rest of the week. Gotta love it. Summertime. I'm not loving it. I used to really like the heat. But your friends, Zetetic Warriors, struggling with the heat this year, guys. I don't know why. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe I'm just getting soft in my old age. But I'm not loving the weather lately. No. So I'm not sure what's going on with all that stuff. Who else is here? Glyph in the house. Buongiorno to you and Grand Perspective. Who else? And Mateo's here. Mateo says the best thing about Canada is Wayne Gretzky. Fair enough, Mateo. Fair enough. And Trailer Park Boys. I like Trailer Park Boys. Somewhere in Time, much love. Ryan Johnson. Hola. Yeah. Much love. But yes, Sly Shy, I'm not enjoying this weather lately. It's a little much for me. It's not so much the heat. We've been like hit with this like weird air quality issue where I live here in South Jersey. And it is humid too. You know, they tell me it's like these Canadian wildfires. It's been a little bit better recently, but for most of the summer, it's been quite intolerable. Like I go outside to try to do something, and like I can't fucking breathe. And I'm like, what's going on here? Why am I dealing with this? And even just the heat in general. Then I was thinking, you know, I think mankind had it right when we were like nomadic. Like the story they give us of the American Indians, the Native Americans, I should say, the original people, the first peoples, let's call them, to this land, and the idea of like migration, being nomadic, that makes sense to me. Like right now, it's like summertime, it's dead of summer. I should be up north somewhere, like in a mountain range. Like it's beautiful. Like I used to live in Vermont. Like right now, it's beautiful up there. Like each day in the summer is like 73. or like 78, low humidity and beautiful. Like, why don't we do that anymore? And then the wintertime comes, you basically follow the sun, guys. You follow when it's supposed to be hot, you move like a little bit away from the sun. When it's cold, you move towards the sun. It kind of makes sense to me, but what did we do? We have the villages, towns, cities, permanent structures, brick and mortar homes, these permanent domiciles. Why did we do that to ourselves? Like, why? So now the summertime comes and each house has to have a bunch of like air conditioning units everywhere blasting away. Wouldn't it be easier just when the hot times come, you just kind of move somewhere where it's not hot? Doesn't that make more sense? See, I start getting excited and I get all like, you know, in my imagination. And I start to like get angry and stuff. And I realize I don't have to come on here and get angry with you guys and myself and the world. But I start to think about like how complex we've made our society and how simple it could be. You just instead of just like trying to like, you know, control like the world around us, instead of like trying to have like complete like godlike dominion over everything, why can't we just kind of be part of nature? Why do we think we're above nature? I mean, I know, like, the Bible Bible that everybody, well, not everybody, but many of you here tell me is the infallible word of God. I mean, I know they told me that we have dominion over the land and all the creatures, but I don't know. Why is it got to be like that? It just would make more sense to me. When things get really cold, like super cold, like in January when I go outside and it's like fucking 5 degrees in the morning. Why am I there? And then why am I even there? Why am I there when it's 5 degrees? There's no need. I could just go somewhere where it's like not 5 degrees, where maybe it's a little warmer. It doesn't make sense. I'm being serious, guys. Who told you that makes sense? See? No, but you don't understand. There's states and countries and boundaries and land ownership. Well, who told you that made sense? Somebody just told you that's the way we're all supposed to live. With sovereign nations with boundaries and I own this. This is my land. Get the fuck off. Really? By what authority? The authority of the state? Hmm. Strange. I don't know why I'm like so passionate about this. Probably because I'm just tired of being hot and humid. And it just got me thinking, like, what are we all doing? What's the fucking big deal? I don't know. It's too much for me. Who else is here? I didn't get done reading the chat yet. Uncle Rick says it's O'Shea. Brian O'Shea. Where are you, O'Shea? What's your current location? O'Shea, you know what? You're migratory. It's only appropriate that you're here this morning for my rant because you're living like a migratory lifestyle. O'Shea seems to move around with the seasons. Like Mitch. It's summertime, and our friend Mars Life, he's up in the mountains of Colorado, like fucking, 10,000 feet at elevation. Mitch has it right. So all you people who want to put Mitchell down, think he's like a vagabond or some kind of a modern day super tramp, like almost like a glorified hobo. He's living the life. Mars Life realizes you just migrate, follow the weather. It's not hard. It's not hard. We could learn something from our friend Mitchell and O'Shea. Just saying, everybody. somewhere in time. Much love, much love. Yes, yes. Snafu Snaps in the house. I think I already said hi to Ryan Johnson. Yes, yes. Who's here? Who else is here? Ashley says no air conditioning. You don't need it if you're moving around. Benton's here. Much love, Benton. Right, Vagabond. Exactly. Vagabond. Spiritual Gathergood, feeling that it's Harp that's fucking all this shit up. GG Abby Lynn says Florida's calling you. It is, but not right now. Maybe in like January and February. The Benowitz spot, John Benowitz property, says all my relatives have condos in Florida thanks to your efforts. Epic condos. Well, I'm sure Benowitz, all your fucking peoples, all you Hebrew peoples seem to have taken over the state of Florida. I mean, look at Uncle Rick. You know, New York, Florida. See, Benowitz, your people figured out the migration thing. The Jews know. I mean, they've migrated all around the world, especially all those lost tribes. You know, the real Jews, the ones that look completely opposite the you, Benowitz, the ones that have the dark skin. Or I should call them the Israelites, because you're most appropriately the Jewish people, Benowitz. Babylonian much? Anyway, I get it, Benowitz. Your peeps learned. You spend your, the warm months in New York. In the wintertime, you all go to Florida. I understand. But that's not hard to do when you just own everything, like all the money and all the property and everything. So don't rub it in our face, Benowitz. So I get on here and I talk about how I want to migrate and move. And the Jewish guy at my channel just has to remind me again how the Jews already figured it out and they're doing that. And all of the rest of us are just slaves. Got it, Benowitz. Thanks. Jackie Fox, 333 in the house. Much love. Much love. Yeah. Benton, letting us know he traveled the country. He slept outside for 6 straight years. Damn. It's nice, dude. It's nice. Steph Davis, much love. Yeah. Yeah. I love when you guys have chat names I can't even say. Although your name is Niger Italian, really. So, and you have a picture of Kanye West with a pizza hat on or something. So I guess I'll just call you the Niger Italian. That's what it seems like. Music Holds the Secrets has lots of melted brick buildings in Vermont. I need to check that out. Maybe O'Shea could confirm. O'Shea, can you confirm or deny that? Are there a lot of melted buildings in Vermont? Yeah, they're called snowbirds. Exactly, Snafu. Vermont is pretty. It's one of the best places to be, especially now in the summertime. And the fall, obviously. Green Man, much love, Green Man in the house. Oh, you fine people. D'Angelo, much love. Yeah. I get it. The Jews figured it out. You be a snowbird. It kind of seems like all you Jewish people, you just kind of go wherever you want and do whatever you want. You're like, oh, let's just go over here and take everything over. Let's just go into all parts of Eastern Europe. Why not? We'll just run everything from the shadows, of course. Oh, okay. We had some trouble over there in Eastern Europe. Things got a little hairy when I don't know. Like all the other people were like, why are we gonna let these guys run everything? Like, why are we just gonna let them own all the stuff? Maybe we need to put a stop to it. I don't know. And then you guys kind of ran over to the Middle East. I was like, no, this is where we're from. This is Israel. And then America popped up. Well, that was before the whole Middle East thing, but And you guys were like, yeah, we're going to take over that whole country too. Just run it from the shadows. You know, I imagine it was something like this. It was like, oh, how can we run America from the shadows? I don't know. Like, you know, like the senior Rothschild household. Mama, how can we control all those Americans? What shall we do? You know, like if Fiddler on the Roof was like real, that's what the discussion would be. You know? How did you guys do it, Benowitz? How did you pull it off? How do you just create all the money and like get everybody to use it? It's so weird, but you did it though. It's so fucking strange. You know? And everybody just went along with it. They were like, yeah, we'll just let the Jews like make all the money and run everything. I mean, maybe people didn't agree to it outright, you know, I'm not sure, but I'm just imagining like what that was like, Benowitz. It's probably your ancestors, you know? That's what I'm imagining. Ah, yes. How can we control all of the Goyim? I mean, they're just useless eaters. Yes, Papa. You're right. They are useless eaters. How can we control them? I know how we will control them, Mother. We will create all the money that they use. Ha 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 ha. Yes, Father, that's a great idea. I can't wait to tell the children. That's right. This is what we would do. We would use our Babylonian magic to create the currency that will be the very foundation of the economy of the whole world. Yes, Papa. What else would we do? Would we charge interest? Of course, Mama. Of course we must charge interest. That's the whole point. It's called usury. We've read it in our ancient Kabbalic books like the Zohar. Just remember, Mama, we are much better than them. We are the chosen ones of the one true God. Who gives a fuck if we just basically enslave humanity? Oh, that's right, Papa Rothschild. Children, gather round as I teach you how we're going to control all the Goyim. Oh, Papa, we love you, Papa. Yes. And then, like, the one little girl, you know, like the black sheep of the family, like, kind of steps up and it's like, yes, but Papa, wouldn't it be cruel to do that to other Goyim? I mean, they're people like us too, Papa. No! No! Be gone with you! Pooh! Pooh! I spit on you! How dare you say that? They're not the same as us. They are cattle. We are the chosen of the mighty Yehovah. Yad he vav he. Hey, hey, hey. Yes. No, Papa. But I have a friend who's Goy. She's wonderful. She's not a useless eater, Papa. I told you, you stop talking to the Goy. They're not like us. Don't you know? Moses himself told us. Okay, Papa. Yeah. Welcome to Benowitz's fucking... the stupid Goyim. They would use our money. We would charge them interest. It's called usury. Yes. Hi, hi, hi. Yes, hey, 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 hey. Shekels, 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 fuck you, goy. I mean, you gotta hand it to them. You know? I mean, they pulled it off. Good job. Good job, all my Jewish friends. I mean, what can I say? Much love, all my Israelite listeners. It's really a compliment. I'm not speaking out of like hate. It's more jealousy. I'm like, oh, you know, how come I couldn't figure out how to like rule the world like you guys? You know? So hats off. Small hats off to all you small hatties out there. You did it. Kudos. You know? Shalom, everybody. Shalom. You know? Oh. It's too early for all this stuff. Too much. Too much. Benton dropping Godfather quotes. That's from Godfather 1, Benton. Nice one. Where do I go from there? Why does it always have to be about the Jews on Z's show? Like, what is that? I really love all you lovely Jewish, you know, guys and dolls. Much love. I mean, come on. Like I said, hats off. Benowitz says Rothschilds was German. He said that's a Russian accent, not a German. I like the Russian Jew accent better, Benowitz. It's funnier to me. I like the Fiddler on the Roof Russian accent better, which is really more like Ukrainian, but at that time it was kind of like all the same shit. I don't need to give you guys a fucking history lesson here. O'Shea coming in his typical O'Shea fashion says Earth is a giant brick building. Now O'Shea just took it to the next level. It's not just the mountains. Earth is. Touche, Mr. Brian O'Shea. The goy. That was too much. That was too much. I gotta stop with the Jewish people. I'm pushing it a little too hard. Like I picture like some, you know, one of the Jewish controllers get a hold of my channel, like the algorithm kind of kings it. And I picture like, you know, some like corporate table in like Tel Aviv with like 7 Hebes sitting around it. Okay, what is this channel we need to review today? You know? What is this channel you brought in front of me? This is the Zetetic Warrior channel. He makes fun of the Jews every day. Do we let him have his channel? I don't know. Let's watch. You know? And then my fantasy is like, go watch it. But because they're Jewish, so like they know comedy. And then the one Jew's like, the rest of them are like, he needs to go. We would ban him from YouTube. And then the one lone Jew in the room stands up and says, but he's a comedian. Don't we value comedy? We are Jewish. Don't you remember all the old Jewish comedians? Don Rickles, George Burns. Pretty much all of Hollywood for like the first 100 years. And then they're like, oh, I hear what you're saying. Maybe we will let the Goyim continue his YouTube channel. I mean, he's not really that funny, but he's kind of funny. We value humor. Okay, he keeps his channel. This is what I think about, guys. That if the Jews discover my channel, that they'll just let me keep it. They won't just ban me and fucking shadow ban me and deplatform me because they own all the media and everything else. So that's my goal here. Is to make fun of the Jews, but just do it in a way that's funny enough where they recognize that, some commonality. This is the way I think. What do I know? It's too much. Dun, dun, dun. I mean, it must be fun to like rule the world. I wish I was God's chosen people. That's enough. We got to get off the Jews. Too much Jewy stuff. We can't go all Jew all the time. It's too much. People get tired of it. Oh, God. All right. It's enough. We got to make a hard left after that one. It's too much. Let's do something educational. Here. Because if not, we're just all going to become like, pretty much completely like idiotic and dumb and retarded. Let's learn about logic. Let me finish my my article on logic because I'm almost done. And it's Friday. It's a good time to finish up the article. Put the Jewy shit on the back burner. So we've been talking about logic, guys. More specifically, we've been talking about logical fallacies because I keep telling everybody that these public school indoctrination camps and hashtag academia at large, well, they're busy teaching us what to think, but at no point have they ever taught us how to think, because I think there's methods and principles we can use to think, more specifically to think critically, because isn't that what it should be about? Is critical thought, the ability to consume and interpret information and then in some way process that information, use it to make decisions about our world. It's called logic, everybody. Why doesn't anybody know how to use logic? Well, Z's going to teach you about logic. Z's been teaching you about logic. Maybe you haven't been paying attention. Maybe you just come in and say, oh, his show's so goofy and stupid, and all he does is act bigoted and hate-filled as he makes fun of the Jews every morning. Well, I make fun of everybody, not just the Jews. You're just the ones who fucking make the biggest stink about it. But no, my channel's not just about Jew hating. Even though I don't hate you guys, I actually love you. It's about a lot more than that. And one of the things, it's about education. And we're going to learn about logical fallacies. And I've already told you, there's 4 basically general categories when it comes to logical fallacies. There's fallacies of relevance, there's component fallacies, there's fallacies of ambiguity, and there's fallacies of omission. And today we're going to talk about fallacies of omission. Why? Because that's what I haven't talked about yet. That's the last grouping on my little list here. Let me get my music going. Maybe you fucking plebes will learn something this morning. Can walk away a little bit better, a little bit more knowledgeable. All right, where am I? That's right. Pay attention, everybody. Z's going to teach you how to think. Fallacies of omission. Where is it? Here we go. Fallacies of omission. These errors occur because the logician leaves out necessary material in an argument or misdirects others from missing information. That makes sense to me, guys. Makes a lot of sense to me. It's actually pretty simple. I'm going to read it again. Fallacies of omission. These errors occur because the logician leaves out necessary material in an argument or misdirects others from missing information. Interesting. It's basically like, yeah, I'm going to tell you like this part of this story, but not everything. Let's start with the first one. Stacking the deck. In this logical fallacy, the speaker stacks the deck in her favor, or his, by ignoring examples that disprove the point and listing only those examples that support his or her case. Right. It's often like pretty convenient when one does this. They're just going to list everything that kind of makes their point. Even though they may like recognize all these other examples that actually disprove the point, they're going to just conveniently leave those out of the conversation. Because those people really aren't interested in truth or the facts. They're just interested in proving their point. Probably because they have an agenda that they're espousing. Let's continue. This fallacy is closely related to hasty generalization, but the term usually implies deliberate deception rather than an accidental logical error. Exactly, deliberate deception. They know about those other points that go against their argument. They're just going to conveniently leave those out and hope you don't notice and that you're just a fucking moron. Anyway, let's continue with the next fallacy of omission. The not true Scotsman fallacy. Well, that's interesting. I've never heard of this one before. The not true Scotsman fallacy. The fuck is that one? Let's continue. This one, attempting to stack the deck specifically by defining terms in such a narrow or unrealistic manner as to exclude or omit relevant examples from a sample. For instance, suppose Speaker 1 asserts the Scottish national character is brave and patriotic. No Scottish soldier has ever fled the field of battle in the face of the enemy. Right, like I've seen Braveheart. Those guys didn't run away. Braveheart came, and he made his speech, and they all charged. Anyway, let me continue. Speaker number 2 objects. But what about Lucas Scottish folk? He fled from German troops in World War I. Speaker 1 retorts, well, obviously he doesn't count as a true Scotsman because he did not live up to Scottish ideals. Thus, he forfeited his Scotch identity. I see people, honestly, guys, I've never heard of this one, but I see fucking manipulative people use this one constantly. It's a dumb name, the The no true Scotsman fallacy, but I fucking see this one all the time. Let me continue. Thus, he forfeited his Scottish identity. By this fallacious reasoning, any individual who would serve as evidence contradicting the first speaker's assertion is conveniently and automatically dismissed from consideration. Right. It's a fucking really good logical fallacy with a really bad name, the no true Scotsman fallacy. But I get this one. This is such a subtle one. I want you guys to pay attention to these logical fallacies because whenever you're, let's say in a discourse or dialogue or an argument with somebody, the argument doesn't have to mean conflict. And when you're kind of like feeling like you're being almost gaslit by a person, when you start to feel like you're crazy, when you're, through the course of dialogue, start to look for these logical fallacies being employed by the other party. Oftentimes, and very likely, they're not even consciously aware that they're employing these logical fallacies. Sometimes they may be purposeful. But people do this oftentimes because, again, they're really not interested in the truth. They just want to be right and prove their point. Let's continue. The next fallacy of omission here on the list is the argument from the negative. I already know this is going to be a good one. Arguing from the negative asserts that since one position is unattainable, the opposite stance must be true. Yup, I knew this was going to be a good one. This fallacy is often used interchangeably with argumentum ad ignorantium. We studied that one before. And the either-or fallacy listed above. We studied that before too. Yep. For instance, one might mistakenly argue that the Newtonian theory of mathematics is not 100% accurate. And that Einstein's theory of relativity must be true. Oh man, don't even give me this example because I'll tear that apart. Keeping this in mind, students should remember that arguments from the negative are bad. Arguments from the positive must automatically be good. Exactly. The basic here is is that since one position is unattainable, the opposite must be true. Exactly. And that's a fallacy. Because it's basically a false dichotomy. Let's continue. An appeal to a lack of evidence. Appealing to a lack of information to prove a point, or arguing that since the opposition cannot disprove a claim, the opposite stance must be true. Exactly. An example of such an argument is the assertion that ghosts must exist because no one has been able to prove that they do not exist. Logicians know this is a logical fallacy because no competing argument has yet revealed itself, right? Exactly. I always say this about the globe. I'm under no obligation to disprove your globe claim. I didn't make the claim. It's not my claim. You claimed the globe. You need to prove it. Just because somebody in opposition can't disprove it doesn't mean the opposite stance is true. Stuff's gold here, guys. Are you fucking paying attention? The next one. Hypothesis contrary to fact. Also called an argumentum ad speculum. Trying to prove something in the real world by using imaginary examples alone, or asserting that if hypothetically X had occurred, Y would have been the result. Man, these are gold. I think I might take this whole list of logical fallacies and just every day read them. Because if you could understand logical fallacies, this is what I keep saying about everything, is we don't know how to think. The skill of independent thought is basically lost from mankind. We don't know how to think. We should fucking have these memorized. Anyway, continue. Hypothesis contrary to fact. Again, I'll read it again. Trying to prove something in the real world by using imaginary examples alone, or asserting that if hypothetically X had occurred, Y would have been the result. For instance, suppose an individual asserts that if Einstein had been aborted in utero, the world... They keep going to Einstein. I'm going to have to find better articles. You know what's funny, guys? The indoctrination's so crazy that I can see the programming inside the programming, and I don't even want to go any further because I'll actually start getting angry. I'll read this one instead. An argument that says if Monet had been trained as a butcher rather than going to college, the Impressionistic movement would have never influenced modern art. Such hypotheses are misleading lines of argument because it is often possible that some other individual would have solved the issue. Got it. Right. It's like saying that, like, oh, if Bill Gates never existed, you'd never have a computer. You'd probably still have a computer. Get it? And the last logical fallacy here, under the fallacy of omission category, is the complex question. Also called the loaded question. This is going to be a good one too. Phrasing a question or statement in such a way as to imply another unproven statement is true without evidence or discussion. This fallacy often overlaps with begging the question, since it also presupposes a definite answer to a previous unstated question. For instance, if I were to ask you, have you stopped taking drugs yet? My hidden suspicion is that you have been taking drugs. Right, it's a loaded question. It's like when people come on, it's like, I used this yesterday, in a in a humorous way. I had Dr. Ake on, and I asked him, Dr. Ake, on a scale of 1 to 10, how drunk are you? You see what I'm saying? In my question, I assumed that he was drunk. And he assured us he wasn't drunk, he was high. Let me continue. Such a question cannot be answered with a simple yes or no. It is not a simple question, but consists of several questions rolled into one. Right. There's implications within the question. In the case, the unstated question is, have you taken drugs in the past? Followed by, if you have taken drugs in the past, have you stopped taking them now? In cross-examination, a lawyer might ask a flustered witness, where did you hide the evidence? Right. You see this employed in that type of environment consistently. Or, when did you stop beating your wife? The intelligent procedure when faced with such a question is to analyze its component parts. If one answers or discusses the prior implicit question first, the explicit question may dissolve. Right. There's an implicit question within the explicit question, guys. You see what I'm trying to teach you guys about this? Because if you just simply learn about logical fallacies, you'll learn how to think, not what to think. Anyway, guys, that concludes our that concludes part 4 of our 4-part series regarding logical fallacies. What I might do at some point, when I eventually go through my material, is I might take all these component parts and then put them together and release it as a video on logical fallacies. And I might start doing that. Like the other day, when I interviewed Nathan for an hour, or I have a continuing series with my friend Joe from Effed Up World, where I've interviewed him maybe 4 or 5 times now, and others. And I think I want to go through and compile these, and I'm probably going to create a backup channel, and I'll release videos. Maybe I'll premiere them or not, but I'll probably do it on a backup channel, not here on my main channel. Let me know if you guys would like something like that, where I go through and I highlight these moments from the show, where I'll just compile like a long series of me doing my whole flat Earth raps, my whole flat Earth thing. Anyway, guys, I enjoyed the Logical Fallacy series. Hopefully some of you did too. All right, let me head back to my broadcast. Hey, you guys are still here. Who's here? Let me go to the chat, see who dropped by. Blue Bass is here. What's up, Blue? Blue Bass wants to take a trip with yours truly to the Philippines and go check out some of those Filipino ladies out there. The professional ladies, so to speak. It's not a bad idea, Lou. Not a bad idea. Benton says he likes the piano music in the back. Nice, Benton. Let me up it just a notch. I'll increase the volume. It's Bach, Benton. It's the Bach's French suites, believe it or not. Played live and in person. What else are you saying? Bearsworth in the house. Much love, much love. Benton said he taught himself Logic during his deprogramming from his cult. Right. Benton, weren't you part of the JWs, the Watchtower folks? I think that's what you said. It's so funny, Benton. I'd imagine that by teaching yourself Logic, you make a fucking great point, Benton. You taught yourself Logic in your deprogramming from what you consider your cult. Because Logic, I think, is the key. It's the key for mankind to approach some degree of objectivity in this realm. Because Benton, Logic is kind of math. Logic and the principles of Logic are very similar to mathematical principles. That's why I think they're so key in developing some sense of critical thought. Good point, dude. You nailed it with that one. Somewhere in the time in the house. Lou Bass thinks he's smarter than Zetetic Warrior. Maybe. You never know. Who else is here? You guys are making me laugh. Moose is in the house. Much love, Moose. Much love, everybody. Just getting an overview of what you guys are saying. Unindoctrinated. Yep. It's just Logic, guy. Just Logic. Yep. Why don't we do this? Let's take a little break. Sometimes when I just talk for extended periods of time, I need to stand up and maybe get a drink of water. I mean, am I allowed to do that on my show? Of course I am. It's my show. Let's take a little musical interlude here. What the fuck do I want to play for you guys? Here we go. Music. Benton, do you know this one, Benton? Danny Elfman. I'm interested in certain movie composers. Like I've been listening to John Williams lately, Danny Elfman. Let's listen to Danny Elfman. I'll be back in a little bit, guys. Much love. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, everybody. Yeah, Benton. I don't know why I'm so focused on Benton this morning. Probably because it's like his icon's a picture of him. So like I focus on it. It's from Back to Sky. I talked about Rodney Dangerfield yesterday. I'm like having like fits of nostalgia lately. Probably because I'm like consistently alone, like in a room, staring at a wall. What else do I have but my thoughts? When I think back, I'm like, when I was a kid, I was real into like TV and movies, mostly movies. So I'm kind of like a cinemaphile from a certain era of movies. Because you got to remember, when I was a kid in the '80s and the early '90s, it was all about movies. Cable TV had kind of just come out. There was no fucking internet, of course. Barely people had any PCs. That was like a new thing. And but my dad was friends with this guy who owned a movie rental store. You know, like back in the days, you guys remember like Blockbuster? Oh, you older guys will remember when you wanted to watch a movie, you'd have to drive, get in your car or whatever, show up to the movie rental place and rent a movie. It was kind of cool. It was an experience. Then when you're there, like, you know, you could buy like your snacks and stuff. It was like you were recreating the movie experience at home. And well, anyway, my dad's buddy owned a movie rental place. Like it was privately owned. It was all VHS at that point. It was before DVDs and everything, before digital anything. So the guy would like, you know, he'd copy like all the movies, like bootleg, and give them to my dad. My dad would get these copies. So I like saw every movie when I was a kid. And I would just watch them over and over and over again. Even the bad ones. Like I had the kind of parents that like didn't give a fuck what I watched. I was basically raised by the television, like most kiddos in my generation. So I would watch these R-rated movies and all the comedies and shit. All the comedies had tits. You remember guys who were here, like Uncle Rick and Benton, did commercial sound and video, all you old, like a good comedy had boobs in them. Like even Back to School, the movie I was just talking about. Rodney Dangerfield's like on a college campus as like an old guy, and he shows up to what he thinks is his son's fraternity, but he's wrong. It's a sorority. And he just walks into the bathroom and he opens the shower. There's a beautiful blonde girl with bodacious tatas right on screen. So picture a young Z, a young Zetetic warrior, 10 years old, sitting Indian style in front of the TV, watching all these beautiful breasts. Same thing with the movie Animal House, which we talked about yesterday. Sorority boobies. sorority boobies. It was the formula for success back in the 80s, especially if it was a comedy. Porky's. Who remembers Porky's? Same thing. That was high school boobies, though. That might even took it to a different level. When they drilled the holes into the walls of the gym showers at school, the female locker in the women's locker room. Yeah, that was high school boobies. That was a different level. Remember Fast Times at Ridgemont High, where Phoebe Cates came out of the pool? But she might have had a top on. She might have had like a bathing suit on. But either way, it was her boobies that made the movie. The 80s were about boobs. They just were. And if you had a good kind of coming of age, teenage hijinks comedy movie, there were tits in it. You know? There were tits. It was kind of implied in the movie. I used to watch all these movies. I know these boobies. I've seen it all. So I'm like, I have a nostalgia for these certain cinema, particularly comedies from the 70s, 80s, and 90s. And not just comedies, all kinds of movies. I miss those times. And I miss those boobies. Because not only is the comedy different now, the boobs are different now. The boobs are just of less quality. I mean, you know, on paper, like, they might be nicer, like the dimensions, but they don't have that natural feel. It's like anything now. It's like music. It's got more of a digital quality to it. That sort of natural tone is gone. It's the same thing with the boobies. They have more of like a synthetic quality to them now. They don't have that natural vibe. They don't quite have the same jiggle, the same jangle. I miss those floppy titty boobies from the 80s. I miss those flapjack boobies. Where'd they go? I know they weren't quite as perky. I miss those days. Anyway, maybe it's just me. I don't know. These are the things I think about. I don't mind imperfections with the female form. I mean, what is with this? These unrealistic expectations that we all have now. And then these women have to live up to, like, this modern conception of the ideal female form. Well, who's that? Kim Kardashian? Give me a break. She's gross. Have you guys seen, like, Kim Kardashian, like, when she was younger? You wouldn't look twice at her. Well, maybe, but that would be it. She would have been a chick that, like, you passed when you were in the mall. You would just kind of glance and keep going with it. Now she's what? This, like, icon, this archetype of female beauty and empowerment. Give me a break. I miss the old days. I really do. Oh well. I guess they're gone forever. But we still have the movies. Like, I could just put on Revenge of the Nerds and see all the college boobies I want. Those were the good old days. Like, Revenge of the Nerds, does anybody remember that movie? Like, when he finally fucked the girl at the end, he basically raped her. And 16 Candles, too. You remember 16 Candles? The fucking, what's his name, Anthony Michael Hall? He basically raped, like, the girl. She was wasted. She woke up the next morning and didn't even remember fucking him. Was like, did we have sex last night? And he's like, oh, yeah, bitch. Come on, you guys remember 16 Candles? And she was like, I think I liked it. Isn't that rape? Were they just, like, showing rape in the 80s? What was going on with that? It was like, yeah, we're gonna give you like a, you know, like a 16 Candles was a John Hughes movie. And like I contend that the Anthony Michael Hall character raped. Come on, who's with me? You've all seen 16 Candles. Not only that, what about that Wan Duck Dong? Probably the most like bigoted presentation of an Asian from an 80s movie. Every every time they showed him, they just played the sound effect of a gong being smashed. What the fuck were we talking about? I guess rape was okay in the 80s. What do I know? The fuck do I know? Well, of course, Heidi had it out for Jake and 16 Candles. Of course, Heidi, because he's the ultimate alpha, and you're the ultimate 80s alpha widow. So, of course, you loved Jake from 16 Candles. Yeah, holy smokes, Heidi. How many times did you imagine yourself sitting Indian style in that restaurant where you lean across the table and you and Jake make out over your birthday cake? Yeah, I'm sure, Heidi. Jake was your ultimate 80s alpha hunk. Yeah, rape was allowed in the 80s, guys. It's kind of like in the women, like in the movies, they liked it. It was weird. It's like, oh, I just got raped, but I like it anyway. It was good. So weird. So weird. Yeah. It's fucking strange. Better Off Dead. Commercial sound and video. Exactly. Was there boobs in Better Off Dead? That was the John Cusack movie where he had it out. He had a thing for the French exchange student. Yeah. Remember Better Off Dead where the creepy neighbor, the fat kid, whatever his name was, Eugene or something? He was basically like groping and almost raping the pretty French girl like the whole time. And she was just like helpless. Like he was constantly like feeling her up under the table and shit. And like the mother was like promoting the rape of the French girl. Every movie was rapey in the 80s. What's with that? I think I'm on to something here. Why was there so much rape in 80s comedies? Right, Woofy. The 80s was all about like rapiness, and now everything's gay. It's like each decade has its own particular like sexual agenda. Very strange. Very strange. Spirit Taco says 80s music sucks. Well, you're wrong there, dude. Couldn't disagree with you more on that one. Unbelievable. So weird. So fucking weird. Yeah, Better Off Dead was a good movie. It is social engineering, Uncle Rick. And plus, the 80s was all about simping, man. It was about like beta nerd guys. All 80s movies, these comedies, coming of age, hijinks type of movies, it was always like the nerdy beta guy um has it for like the cool hot chick who's getting pounded out by like the alpha Chad. And then he gets the girl in the end. You know? Like we're always saying, like 16 Candles was a prime example of that. But that was the opposite. What's the one with like Ducky? What the fuck was the one with Ducky? It wasn't 16 Candles. That was something else. Whatever that movie was. It had the same redheaded chick in it. Yeah, Revenge of the Nerds is a classic one. The beta nerd gets the hot fucking blonde cheerleader at the end. And like the alpha guy always gets like humiliated. Yeah, Pretty in Pink. Thank you. Ageless Thomas. Pretty in Pink. Fucking Ducky. But does Ducky get her in the end? I don't think Ducky gets her in the end. I think the cool guy gets her in the end. Do you know they wrote an original ending to Pretty in Pink where Ducky gets the girl? Which is weird. Because I don't think he gets her in the common ending of the movie. There's so many of these fucking movies. I'm just cranking them out. Yeah. Yeah. Glyph says Indiana Jones was a pedo. Right, in the first Indiana Jones when he meets up with, what's her name? Marion? Isn't that her name? And in like the opening part, when she references, she's like, I was just a girl, Indy. Apparently in the original script, like she was like a girl, like a girl. Yeah, I guess that was okay back then. Who knows? Don't get me started on this whole fucking thing. It's too much. Yeah, like Green Man says, like Spielberg's a pedo. I don't know. This whole Hollywood pedo thing, guys, it's a fucking deep rabbit hole. It really is. This whole Hollywood thing. You guys know my thoughts on Hollywood. Your buddy Z knows Hollywood's been propaganda from the get. We know that. I know that at least. But I want to hold on to something from my past. I don't want to let go of like all of it. Do we need to? I ask this question all the time on my channel. Once you learn about all this stuff, okay, like once you learn that the Beatles really weren't writing their own music or even performing it, they were kind of just like singing. The Beatles were just like singing to the music. If you guys didn't know that, maybe you want to look into it. That story of the four lads from Liverpool, these musical geniuses, yeah, too bad. That wasn't real. It kind of seems like they just brought them in the studio, they sang the fucking songs, and they left. But here's my point. Do I have to like not like the Beatles now? Can I still listen to the Beatles and love their music? You know? Okay, so what? These Tavistokian social engineering weirdos wrote all the Beatles music. Fine. Okay. Can I still like the Beatles? It begs the question. All right, so Hollywood's just been a big fucking elite pedophilia ring from the fucking beginning. I get it. But does that mean I have to hate every movie now? Do I have to just hate it all? Come on. Give me something, guys. What else do I have? Not much. Not much. Let me put the invite in. It's Friday, the day that we worship the Nordic god Freya. Freya Day. Freya Dog. That's right. I know Dutch and I know German now, guys. The days of the week are German. P.S. Just so you know. Links in the chat. As we now enter the open panel portion of the show. And I invite all of y'all to join me up here on the panel, the virtual dais, so to speak, as we welcome and embrace all you fine people wandering here in the metaverse of madness. The metaverse of madness, which is a labyrinth, basically. It's basically a digital labyrinth that we find ourselves in, which is confusing, in some ways disorienting. You find weird characters in here. You find goblins and trolls. All kinds of people. Oh no, Z's in the labyrinth. Where am I? Hello? Am I lost? I'm confused. Where am I?
You turn my world, you precious thing.
Why is David Bowie here? Where am I? Am I in the metaverse? Am I in the labyrinth? Ooh, and an underage Jennifer Connelly's here. I mean, talk about Hollywood pedo weirdness. Why is an underage Jennifer Connelly having sexual scenes with David Bowie? It's weird. You know, I opened myself up to the metaverse and David Bowie shows up. Who's next? Illumitami as David Bowie? You know, in the labyrinth? I agree, Benowitz. Jennifer Connelly was hot. She's still hot. Oh my god, I'm lost in the metaverse. Where am I? So creepy. Who's gonna show up from the labyrinth we call the metaverse? Who will we find? Bowie had that falsetto thing down to a T. Look, Three Fingers is here. He's part of the labyrinthian metaverse of madness. He's a goofy guy. I love David Bowie. He's one of my faves. I love Jennifer Connelly too. But I will say, she was a little young to be portrayed in the sexual manner that we saw in this movie Labyrinth. Just saying. Oh, we have our first metaversal miscreant up today. Bearsworth is back in the backstage. Bearsworth, are you one of the miscreants that we find here in these digital streets? Let's welcome Bearsworth to the show. He is a bear. We discussed Owen yesterday, Bearsworth. What was your take on the Owen discussion yesterday? Were you here for it, Mr. Bearsworth? Did you get to hear the Owen thing? Let's bring him on. I'm just talking to nobody now. Bearsworth, welcome back to the stream, homie.
Hey guys, sorry. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good. What's up?
Okay, sorry. I was closing. I was getting. Yeah. Yeah. What I didn't catch the last stream, but
Yeah, no matter. Bane Bear was up here, and we're just talking about the Big Bear and Bear Taria, and some of the members of the audience, lent their voice and their opinion regarding Mr. Owen Benjamin, and I don't know. I just brought it. Figured I'd bring it up.
It's a good discussion, and I don't know. I think he's a positive voice, and I know everybody's got their own opinion, but I think he's positive. But if anything, I think it's almost too much. His whole thing, it gives people too much. Yeah, he's like the perfect, thing to live up to, and he's got this image of he's so perfect, and But
is that an image that Bearsworth? Do you feel like is that an image that he portrays and that he's cultivating, or do his followers and acolytes bestow that upon him? What do you think? It's a little bit of both.
Yeah, for sure. It's a little bit of both. Yeah, for sure. But is that bad to think about trying to be really good and positive. I don't know. If anything,
Well,
I usually end up feeling like shitty about myself because I'm like not as fucking perfect as Owen Benjamin or I'm not. Yeah. Anyway,
right. You know,
yeah.
I could break this down a million ways, Bearsworth. Whether, cult of personality type figures, we'll just speak in generalities. We don't have to just say Owen, we'll just say, these certain people with this particular type of personality traits, let's say, whether they're doing it consciously or unconsciously, they do cultivate an aura about themselves of the holier than thou aura. And whether it's he's doing it or just that's being he's being perceived as doing this, it becomes a thing. I think it's self-limiting in the end because I think once one develops a cult of personality around themselves, there seems to be a zenith where for lack of a better term, the group, call it a cult if you want, it builds to a climactic point. But then there's always the disillusion of it, the destruction, so to speak. And I think the cult-like persona, the cult phenomena, for lack of a better term, becomes self-limiting. And I think in the end, it's destructive because I don't think it's sustainable. Because as you say, it imbues characteristics to men that that shouldn't be embodied within a man. The characteristics imbued should more appropriately be reserved for some type of deity or the concept of a deity. And I think it's self-limiting. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I don't know if I agree with that. I think it's a positive message. I think he has a positive message. And if anything, I almost sometimes feel like a gamma, like I am kind of like, feel shitty about my own life because I don't live up to, the same standards, if anything. But like, I do think it's positive, and to try and, yeah, but I don't know, it's good and bad. I don't know. It's interesting. I've been following, and like, I do credit that guy with a lot of shit too, man, because like he is fucking funny as fuck. And I did wake up, like I do kind of fucking put myself in the shoes of, like, I did wake up from him, like with the moon landing and the flat earth, and like I went through all that shit with him. And I don't think I would have gone through it if I wasn't following him. So that's kind of a fucked up thing. Interesting. Like, I don't think I like, because I was trusting him so much and like making him an idol. It is fucked up. He's always saying, "Oh, no idols, no idols, don't," and which is good advice. But he was like an idol for me, and like I don't think I would have fucking gone down the flat Earth rabbit hole or the moon landing rabbit hole. Like, I went down all of that with him. But it's so fucking interesting going through it like on a screen too, man. Like, we are a fucked up generation. Like, I don't know, it's so weird. Like, man, I don't have many friends. All my friends are on the screen, and like I don't even have any friends. And most of my like I think of a lot of people on the screen as my friends, and they don't even know me. I've never even met anybody. But like, I follow this whole community so closely that like I consider them family. I
Right.
it's interesting.
Bearsworth, you may be lost in the labyrinth. That's okay. Many of us probably are. The labyrinth of the metaverse.
I am, man. I totally am. I totally am lost in it, man. I totally like. I feel like half these people I follow are like family. I fucking like love everybody, man. Like, so interesting.
Bearsworth, I don't know, man. There may be a vulnerability there or some type of misplaced trust in people that are basically metaversal. Because people behave differently in the labyrinth of madness, dude. I mean,
Oh, totally, man. And that's why I really want to meet people, man. So like the flat Vegas, man, I bought tickets for it, and I haven't bought my plane tickets yet, but I bought tickets for like the actual event, and I haven't talked to my wife about it yet. But I really want to go and just meet people and actually put a face to people. It would be, I don't know, something cool to do. But
so you're talking about Flattoberfest?
yeah.
Right. What's your wife think about your whole your views on things, your understandings? What's her take on it, bro?
I think she knows at heart that I'm right, but we've gone through like, oh man, I've been through such a fucked up like 3 or 4 years, man. She got cancer and fucking. I wanted to go like a natural route, and I was trying to, and she's gone total opposite direction on everything that I've said.
Right.
She got the vaccine, man, and I don't know, following you. That's the other thing, man. Even following you, it's like I know shit about your life. It's so interesting. Like I almost consider you a friend, but we don't even know each other. But like, I kind of know that like you went through a relationship and that you broke up with somebody and something happened there. So it's funny. Like I almost feel a connection there because like I've gone through all this shit with my wife. And like I almost broke up with her. I almost feel like a connection there, but like my wife was like such a normie, and she's like poo-pooed everything, and yeah, she. Oh man, there's so many things. She got the fucking vaccine, man. Even though I fucking was hardcore telling her like fuck you, you're like do not get it, like giving her facts. And she trusted like her friend that works with her. She works in a pharmacy though too, also. So yeah, the programming is strong, but like, and she had just gone through cancer. She went through like 2 years of chemo. Like right, she got diagnosed with breast cancer right at the start of fucking COVID. Like this, like a month before the COVID like came out, like all the bullshit. Like February, she got diagnosed, or they found a lump, and then they tested her, and fucking, yeah, it was fucking crazy. And then, yeah, everything's so fucked up. And then she took the vaccine, and she got the booster, and like I was so fucking pissed off at her. And oh man, it's just life is so fucking crazy.
You're in a
But,
tough
like,
situation, Bearsworth. Let me pose something to you.
Yeah.
And I feel for you, dude. And I appreciate you sharing this morning because I'm sure your story is echoed all around the world, dude. I'm sure it is. Which begs the question about this concept of modern marriage and what it really is. Because to me, the concept of marriage was formed in a time where the social dynamic was quite different, where the man was truly the leader of the household. Well, now we still have this archaic concept and institution of marriage, but presented in this modern cult of culture society that teaches us about 50-50 relationships, etc., etc. And we find this untenable, at least I view it as untenable, paradigm that you're in.
Yeah. If anything, the woman gets to make all the decisions. They're always right, especially if you're a little bit in the wrong, man. Okay, so like I drink a little bit too much, man, and our society has like totally deemed drinking, and so she's like blamed all the shit on drinking, and everybody disagrees with them. So it's like I'm totally in the wrong because I drink too much, and that's like everything is blamed on me because I drink too much, and like nothing, there's no other facts put into the equation on any other side. There's like no, I don't know, it's just so fucked up now.
All right, so let's talk some shit here, Bearsworth. Let's talk about dogma. Let's talk about tradition. all right, and convention. Your wife followed the advice of mainstream culture in terms of her medical care of the last 3 years because of dogma, tradition, and culture.
Yeah.
You and I can look at that and realize the fallacy behind that. Can we agree that just because of dogma, tradition, and culture doesn't make something right? Can we
Yeah.
agree on that? Okay.
So, and I think it's women are different too, and that's what I'm coming to terms with. Is like women are a different beast than men too, and they do want to just like go to societal norms and
Of
like listen to
course.
their friends, and they're not interested in the truth as much as men are, and at least most women you know were designed to take care of kids and to just
Well, let me
go with
pose
it.
this to you, Bearsworth.
Yeah.
What about the dogma, tradition, and culture that you're following by adhering to this marriage that you're in? Look, I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm trying to present something to you that in the same way that your life is basing her behaviors and her actions on these concepts, you're doing the same thing, but just in a different way. Now, of course, I'm not going to advocate. Let me just speak in generalities. Let's take it away from Bearsworth and his relationship. I'm not advocating that people abandon people. We have people in our lives. We've made commitments to them. We certainly wouldn't want to abandon them. That would probably be morally, ethically, and otherwise in some way wrong. But however, Bearsworth, I pose it like this. What obligation do you have moving forward with a wife who's not behaving like a wife? You're in a marriage, Bearsworth, but it doesn't seem like you have a wife. So I ask you, what obligation do you have to be a husband when you have no wife?
Yeah. Yeah, I'm gonna expand on that too. Societally too, man. Like every single person agrees with my wife. My mom, my dad, her dad. Everybody is just like on her side about everything, which is just so fucking crazy. And like I'm such a like I didn't. I and so okay, but so my obligation is my kids, and that's what I care about the most. And I believe that my kids are going to be the best if I can keep this marriage together. And the last 2 years, that's all she demanded was a divorce. And like the cancer fucked up her brain so bad, like she didn't think about the consequences. And it's like we're gonna have to sell the fucking house if you want a fucking divorce. Like I want half of the equity. And she couldn't get that in her head. She just thought, I'm going to pay child support. She's going to live in the house. I'm going to keep paying the mortgage. I'm going to keep paying the truck payments. I'm going to keep paying all the bills. And she just gets to stay in the house. And she couldn't get that in her fucking head. I finally got it through to her like fucking 6 months ago. I'm like, no, like Aaron, if if you want a divorce, I'm done. Like I need you to sell the house or come up with half of the fucking equity of the fucking house. And like if that's what you want, like I'm done. Like I'm gonna go to Mexico or I'm like leaving the like I'm fucking done with this. Like
How
you
many
fucking
kids do you have?
I got 2 kids. I got a 5-year-old and a 7-year-old.
All right,
5-year-old.
so let's
Yeah.
start off, Bearsworth. You're not going to Mexico. That's the first thing. That's not going to help you to run away from it. All right. Believe me, I've been through what you went through, but not as bad as you're going through it because I didn't have biological children with my ex. I had a stepdaughter. That was hard enough. And I wanted to fucking run myself, dude. I wanted to fucking take off, but I didn't. When the marriage was over, I stayed in the same town. I still have to see her driving her car. Like sometimes I'll be in the middle of town and she'll drive right by me. You have to fucking face it. But dude, listen, man. I how do I say this, Bearsworth? I feel for you, homie, and I can imagine you're in a lot of pain, dude. But
Oh
what you
man,
have to go ahead.
it also kills me. Like this whole thing, man. Once you like you've gone down the rabbit holes and shit, and like you realize that like this is all bullshit. Like that we could be like living our life, man. Like okay, man, we've had this house for like 14 years. We have so much equity. Like we could sell this house and have like 500 grand of equity and go like just fucking travel and fuck around for like 5 years, like or and or do whatever, man. Like like if it was up to me, like I've been telling her, like we could fucking build some shit on my cousin's property for nothing for like 50 grand and go fucking travel and like just yeah, just our whole life, this whole system that they've got set
Bro,
up for us.
she doesn't want to travel with you, bro. The chick
Oh
is
yeah,
don't look. When the woman decides it's over, bro, it's just over, bro. Look, I'm not telling you what to do, Bearsworth, because there's gonna be people watching this. They're gonna misconstrue what the fuck I'm saying, man. I'm just talking in generalities, so we don't even have to make it about you, dude.
yeah.
When she decides that you're no longer partners, you're no longer partners, dude. You're in a contract where the other party, see, we're not just talking about a spiritual union. You're in a legal contract with another person who has just as much legal right as you do within that legal construct, homie. You can't keep looking at her as your helpless wife. You're basically sleeping with the enemy every fucking night, dude. You're sleeping with the enemy, bro. You're in the middle of a legal contract where the other party has now committed bad faith within the contract. The contract's over. The only thing left is to dissolve the contract legally because it's already been done in fact. You understand? And each day that you continue under this contract, you become less and less. I'll say it like this. Your leverage becomes less and less. Like Gypsy Nymph says, if she's finished, bro. You having this conception of you convincing her and if she would only understand, that's gone, bro. The woman that you knew, the woman that you have in your mind, she's gone, bro. And Bearsworth,
I don't know if I totally agree with you, man. Because
of course
like,
you don't, because you don't want to totally agree with me.
well,
Because
no, but
go ahead.
I
Hold on
see
a
your
second,
side.
Hold on, Bearsworth. Will somebody come up and talk to Bearsworth besides me? Will somebody fucking hit the link and talk to this guy? You guys all want to sit down. You know, you guys all want to sit down and watch a guy's life get flushed down the tube because no one gives a fuck about men really in this culture. You want to see Bearsworth have his fucking balls continue to stay in a goddamn vice? I'm going to change your name from Bearsworth to Bear's Trap because your nuts are locked in a fucking Bear's Trap right now. And everybody wants to just sit here and watch you fucking get your life flushed down the tube.
Oh man,
Will somebody come up and speak some fucking sense to this guy before I flip the fuck out? Go ahead.
I wouldn't say that. Okay, man. So it's truthful. So I've been with her since I was 20, man. I met her when I was 19 on my 20th birthday. Been with her for 17 years now. But I know she is a good person and she does mean well. But we're just all crazy, man. Like we're all crazy. She's got fucked up things going in her head. But man, I truthfully picture, man, like, and like, I've heard stories about my grandparents also, but my grandparents stuck it out. That's the fucked up thing. My grandparents back in the day, they stuck it out and they just fucking worked through it, even though they went through fucked up years. Like I've heard my fucking grandma was like depressed and she was like fucking on drugs for like fucking 5 years, like staring at a wall. My grandpa fucking cheated on her, and then like all like crazy shit fucking happened in the past too, man. It happened back in the 50s and 60s. All this crazy shit happened also back then. But man, they fucking stuck it out, and like I just saw them grow old. My grandpa got cancer and died like 4 years ago, but my grandma's still around. But like, you know, they were together for like fucking 62 years.
I know,
And-
but what you're talking about is first of all, you're very likely romanticizing the relationship of your grandparents, okay?
Yeah,
Well,
The
my
reality
my
is,
grandpa was my idol too, man. My grandpa was the fucking
Benton,
coolest
Benton,
motherfucker I've
hold
ever met.
on, Bearsworth,
no,
hold on.
I
Benton,
can't. You can't.
welcome to
hang
the
on.
stream, Benton. Welcome to the
Hey.
stream.
All that our grandparents stuff, that's gone, man. That life is over. It's not coming back. It's done. Let it go.
I don't want to say that, man. Why?
Wait. Do we want results or do we want to concern ourselves with what we want?
Well, no, but why does it have to be over?
Wait. Who the fuck are you to worry about what you want when I just told you that it's never going to be the way it was when your grandparents were young? What does that have to do with what you want? Who the fuck are you?
I don't know. I'm no one. But you know, we're powerful individuals. We can manifest whatever we want.
No. If you were a powerful individual, you would manifest what you wanted.
That's what I'm trying to. I want to see myself dance.
But you're not powerful. You just said you're a powerful individual, and you're proving the opposite. So you're literally in a state of delusion, sir. So step number one. I know I'm right. Step number one, we got to get to reality. The reality is you're not the man of your house if you live with this woman. I was only about half listening. She's in charge, and that's probably why I haven't been in a relationship for several years, because I'm from the olden days. If you hear my accent, I grew up in a time warp in Arkansas, and the man had to be in charge. We weren't accepted in society if our woman was in charge of us. That wasn't allowed. Well, nowadays, like you said, the man ain't allowed to be in charge.
Oh no, we're not, man. Like the whole family. It's everything is on her side. Everybody fucking. She makes every fucking decision. Everything, man. Like I'm such a hardcore truther, man. I don't want to put my kids. She wanted to go back to work, and I was like, I don't want to. Like, I make enough money. You know.
Stop.
Do you hear yourself?
Listen to me real quickly, sir. Write this down. A man ain't a man got a woman for a boss. If a woman can tell you what to do, if a woman can dictate your daily life, if you don't have a say in the matter, you ain't a man. Period.
No. So that's the fucked up thing. So now at this point, we like live separate lives. So like, man, we didn't have sex for like 4 years, and finally, I'm like, fuck you. Like, if we want to make this work,
no, you gotta stop. You gotta stop. You know why I've never ever experienced these things you're talking about? You know why? Because I wouldn't put up with it for 2 seconds. So consequently, I've never experienced it. Now let's get down to the matter. You don't think? Hang on. You don't believe you can meet other women. So you're trying to hang on to this one. It's called one-itis. If you had other women in your life, you would not be putting up with this ever.
No. Man, I don't know if that's totally true, man. Truthfully, I think it's the kid.
If other women wanted you, this woman wouldn't treat you that way. They don't treat desirable men the way you're being treated.
Yeah, no, man.
Your woman that you're complaining about will go worship some other man that she considers worthy. I saw one of the bitchiest, prettiest, most attractive women. I worked with her at a restaurant. She was the queen bee. Her shit didn't stink until the big stud came around that all the women wanted, and she was doing this guy's laundry. And that same broad will treat you like a piece of garbage, sir. It's all about you. It's got nothing to do with her.
You have to realize, can you hear me okay? Can you guys hear me okay?
Yep.
You have to realize something. The woman is the decider, like it or not. That's just the truth. And if you don't give her something,
it didn't used to be that way, Lou.
No, hold on. Follow my point. It always has been that way.
I've already disagreed with your point, Lou.
Okay, but hold on. I understand what you're saying. There's a lot of
so
factors
women
against the man.
decided that they weren't allowed to vote until 1920. That was women decided that.
Look, I get all that, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something completely different.
Lou, you're making obscure points that's derailing the conversation.
Well, if you don't let me make the point, then I can't make the point.
Lou, I'm not trying to be a dick. Lou, I'm not trying to be a dick.
I know you're not.
I've studied this material extensively. You're bringing up things that are not relevant because you're sidetracking. It's what you do.
Listen, bro, the bottom line, in my opinion, is this. In the end, the woman is the decider. Whether it was 100 years ago, whether it's today, whether there's. If I can't finish, Benton, then you're not going to hear my point.
If he gets in his car and goes and starts a new life for himself, she can't do anything about that. Nothing.
Yeah, no,
she
but
decides nothing.
And that's always been like that as well,
but
right?
I could see you have a lot of resentment.
Why? His only option, Benton.
No.
His only option, Benton,
You're wrong,
is to
Lou.
stand. You don't even heard what I've said, Benton. What I'm trying to say, you haven't heard it.
Lou, you can't start on the wrong foot and then end up correct. You started on the wrong foot.
I am on the right foot, Benton. I am on the right foot. A woman may not have had the same options as she did
Who cares? Why are we talking about women, Lou? Lou, this is about men. We're talking about men, not women, Lou. We're talking about none of this you're saying is going to benefit a man. What you're saying is going to benefit women like your daughters, Lou. You're playing right into their hands, Lou. This is about men, Lou. Men, Lou, not women.
Let me get my fucking thought out and
your
then tell
thought
me that.
is asinine, Lou.
No,
it's
sir.
asinine.
No, sir. No, it's
You
not.
seem
asinine.
No, it's not.
You seem very aggressive. Let Lou finish his point.
Let
Lou talk, please.
Is to go serve the women more. So he's not getting his needs met, but he needs to concern himself with her needs. Let's face the reality. He's worried about her needs. She's worried about her needs. Nobody's worried about his needs, not even him.
I would like Lou's advice. I'm not interested in.
I'm not here to give you advice. I'm not here to give you advice. I'm only here to give you my perspective. My perspective is very simple, right? My perspective is this. Women have always been the deciders. Now, 100 years ago, and before we were able to write things down, right? It's always the woman that's going to choose the man, not the man that's going to choose the woman. Now, keeping that in mind, you have to understand your situation is obviously he's right. You need to pick up, stand up, be a better man, and do what you have to do as a man. Whether she's involved in that process or not is irrelevant. You're a drunk. I'm sorry to tell you straight up.
Oh, truthfully, man. Yeah, you're totally right, man.
Not the woman you got in the bed there that ain't fucking you, or not a woman that's out on the street is gonna fucking respect you because you're a drunk. You're not standing on your own shit, right? You're not being the man you need to be. Right?
And
whether she's in your life or not, you have to make the decisions for yourself. Then once you've arrived at a better place as a man, you're standing for yourself, you're true and right in your own position, you know what your position is, you know where you are, and you know where you're going, then whatever woman is going to choose you, whether it's this one or another one, this one don't matter, bro.
Yeah. Well, she does. She's the mother of my kids. But that's the thing.
It doesn't matter. I had 4 children with this woman when she decided to do what she did, right? And then afterwards, for years, it was begging to have me back. That was it. It was done. Right? Now, not because of some fucking, whatever macho thing that, you cheated and I'm gonna fucking be the man. No. It's because I came to the point that I had to realize that I gotta be a better me. Yeah. Irrelevant of her. Without her, who cares? It doesn't matter. She doesn't matter.
But also, do you not think that our society is programming these women to kind of like self-destruct?
Who cares?
But you not like I kind of feel like
Lou,
that. Like,
everything
like,
Lou Bass said, you need to forget, dude. Everything that fucking Lou Bass, you're an idiot. You say the women choose, bro. You got to man up and choose
Yeah,
your
listen to
woman.
yourselves.
No,
Listen to
I am
yourself,
listening to myself.
Snafu.
Hey, bro,
Listen to
listen.
yourself.
No, hey, Lou, let me drop this cat for a minute.
I can't have
you
these
fucking
women
idiot.
because the women
Lou's
have all
off in
the
here and fucking
power
feminize
now.
like a little bitch, saying, "Oh, let the
Come
women choose." No,
on.
you as a man choose what you're gonna allow in your life and who you're gonna build with and what. Listen, bro.
Right.
You said you got with this kid very young, man.
Right.
You nailed it on the head, bro. You in your mind, you got this fantasy up, dude. This chick, bro. I mean, is it gonna take another dick in her for you to see it that she's no longer with you? She doesn't want you. You're not a part of it, bro. The fantasy you had. Would you ever see her on a channel simping like you're simping now over your kid? She don't give a fuck. You have a kid together. She don't give a fuck about all that shit, homie. And here's the thing: is you guys started young together.
She does though, man. Like,
how many exploration has she really had? Same with you. How much exploration have you had? You're simping off the child. I met her since and Lou's an idiot, dude. Feminine bullshit, motherfucker. You ain't gonna let no woman fucking control shit or women choose you. No, you choose who you want as a woman. And I'm telling you, bro, you gotta put yourself at a higher standard.
He
With
lets
the
woman control
like
shit. He gives the control to the woman. He gives it to her.
You're sitting here fucking acting like you fucking let the bitch fucking run your shit, and that's why you probably have the problems you do with your daughters. You're fucking no, bro. Here's the deal. I get it's emotional in your head and fantasy of like what could be and what should be. Like your grand did it. The fact is would she be doing what you're doing? Would she be fighting for what you're fighting for? No, because you wouldn't be talking to us about this situation. You wouldn't be sitting here in this situation. The fact is, bro, these women, and you get little feminist bitches like Lou who fucking make the man think that we don't have the resources to pick the women, choose the women, allow the women that we want in our lives. And I'm telling you, you're doing yourself short because the fantasy is in your head, man. And it may take another dick in her mouth or in her pussy to fucking make you change your mind. Because a lot of men, that's what it's taken nowadays for them to actually see. And then they see that and they still simp. I'm telling you, bro.
And that's all bullshit.
What you're doing now. Absolutely not. She's not going to sit here and say, oh, we have a kid together. I fucking love it. She's not saying that shit, bro. She's fucking looking out for the next good thing to benefit her up, dude. You just got to take it for what it is. And Lou saying that you got to let the women choose and this motherfucker.
What are you talking about? That's not what I'm saying, dumb fuck. Women not what I'm saying, dumb fuck.
Man, what a bitch.
That's not what I'm saying, dumb fuck.
What a bitch. Telling this man to let the women choose him when this man should be able to choose which women. He is the man. He has the capability of choosing who should be in his life. But then you get sick, and these women fucking choose to play it like they're allowing.
I can see both your sides, but the main thing is the kids, man. That's the thing. That's the fucked up thing is the kids.
You as a man, take care of your kid and forget the bitch.
No,
take care of your kid and forget the bitch. Does she care that you have kids together? No, she's gonna fucking be out there with the next dude that's gonna provide.
No, she does, man. No. That's the thing. That's the thing.
I agree with what Snafu just said, bro. I agree with that.
No,
take care of your kids, no matter what she thinks.
But but that's the thing.
Then if you need to sell your house to get things right, sell your house, take your kids, go find some little property, build it, let her go.
But, okay, but she is a good person. That's the fucked up thing. She is a good person.
Doesn't matter.
Hitler was a good person, says Kanye. Fuck, man.
The only difference is that she's a normie and she does not want to know the truth.
You know what? You couldn't lead her. You have in your head the fantasy fucking storybook ending here, bro.
Because you
have the fantasy storybook ending. And that's really sad.
Snafu, because you couldn't lead her, Bearsworth.
Lou, you're telling this guy to let women choose him. You're a bitch, dude. You're letting this guy simp out and telling people it's the women. No, that's what's wrong with this fucking world. The women started voting, and then they fucked shit up. And I'm not being sexist here. I'm being real. People like
Hey,
Luke,
hey,
like,
hey,
let these
Stop it.
motherfucking women
Hey guys,
Is
fucking,
my
guys,
mic
they get to
working?
pick who a man is. What
Hello?
happened to the
Is
man
my
saying, I'm
mic
the man,
working at
I'm gonna
all?
choose the bitch I
Is
want to
my
be with,
mic
and
Shut
she's
the
gonna
working?
love
fuck
me, and I'm gonna love her. You
Hello?
get Lou's all equal rights,
Hello?
equal rights.
Hello?
Fucking,
Is
come
my
on,
mic
man.
fucking working or just you guys get to talk? Z,
Lower
could you
the
lower the
music.
music a little bit?
okay,
Bearsworth, if you can give me a second, Bearsworth. Ben, all of these guys are killing. I could have hopped back down. Snafu is
Lower
killing.
the fucking music, Z.
Yeah.
We can't even hear ourselves talk. Think, let
Snafu,
alone talk.
Benton, and even
Hey,
Luke
is your
is giving
girlfriend
you
still
the
a good
hard
person when she's
truth.
sucking other dick and
They
fucking
even
other dudes?
they're giving you
Is
the
she still a
hard
good
truth.
person?
They're
Yeah.
giving you the hard truth
But
this
that
man,
doesn't
morning,
mean she's
man.
with you, right? Or you could do
All
something.
right.
She may be a
man,
good person, bro, but she's not yours anymore.
These
She's
man,
not
guys
you.
I
like
She would be.
fucking animals,
She would be
but
man.
that,
fighting and telling her friends what you're telling us if she gave a
man, that,
fuck about you, but she ain't. That's why you're sitting
that
here
Pick another
simping
time,
in
man.
front of all these online people. You have to understand it's in your mind, and you have to break up and be a man. Don't listen to Lou. You could choose your own woman, dude. You can find one better. You can find one that respects you. You can find one that's going to treat you and fight for you like you're trying to fight for her right now. If she ain't even ready to fight for you, all that time you had in the past don't mean shit, bro. Just because she's a good girl don't mean shit. All you're doing is hurting yourself and putting yourself through emotional trials for someone that does not feel the same for you. It's that simple.
thank you for the information, man. I don't want to steal the show, Z. I'm sorry to do this. Sorry, all this controversy. Fuck, man. I'm sorry.
Bearsworth.
Fuck.
You caused quite a stir this morning, homie. Well, here's the
I'm,
thing, dude.
life is
Do
fucked up
you?
though, man. It's interesting, like all this shit, man. And like, oh man, I've had the worst 2 years of my whole life, man, just because of this relationship and kids, and so fucked up. It's so fucked up. Anyways,
Well, here's the thing, dude. I appreciate you're probably going through some degree of almost like a walking nightmare, dude. And like, I know we're talking about it here this morning, and for many of us, it's just a conversation. But let's not forget, dude, you're living it, bro. You know, and
yeah, it's fucked up.
here's the thing, dude. No one's gonna
When,
get you out of this but yourself.
like when we all know the truth and we're all experiencing this and we can see shit like playing out in real time, and your wife is like, "Fuck you, it's all bullshit. Like I don't want to hear about it," and she fucking goes and gets vaccinated, and she got vaccinated on her birthday. I like was making her birthday dinner, and she like calls and she's like, "I got vaccinated." I'm like, "Oh wow." That's like 2 years ago. It's like, are you fucking serious? Like, and she knows. Like, I've been telling her for like fucking a year. Like, oh, it's just fucking insane. It's fucking insane, man.
Um,
Uh, Anyways, that other guy, I don't know. That black guy sounded like he had some good advice, but I don't know. I don't want to take your show. I'm sorry, man. I'm fucking turning it into a shit show. Sorry, Z.
Dude, here's the thing, man. How do we go from here, Bearsworth? You're gonna have to take accountability, bro. There's gonna be a point where you need to be radically accountable for this whole situation. Because, like you said, her parents, probably your parents, all your fucking family, they're going to just go along with her little narrative, her little side. One, because people do that anyway. She's the woman, she's the wife. She's going to be the one who's the victim. Yeah. Two, because they have the entire cultural zeitgeist on their side, bro. Now, you know you're right. You need to be able to stand on your square, but you're not going to be able to do that until you fucking clean your side of the street up, home slice. And there's going to be no way around it. But the thing is, the more you ignore this, homie, the worse it's going to get, dude. Yeah. Let me let up. I have a female. I have a woman here. Hold up. Heidi, can you hear me? I know you typically have tech issues. Can you?
I hope you guys can hear me.
Yeah.
Can you?
Yeah, you're good, Heidi. We could hear you.
Okay, hey Bearsworth. Of course I'm going to come in with sympathy first because I'm female, but I just want to give you some hard facts here. She's never going to respect you until you get your shit together. It might take you 5 years, 10 years, or 2 months. It's up to you. She was over you before it was over. I can promise you. I have witnessed this over and over and over with
Well,
my
here's the
friends.
thing. He doesn't need to care about if she respects him or not.
Well, that's what I'm saying. He doesn't respect himself.
Hold on a second. Her thoughts and feelings, Bearsworth, are inconsequential to you at this point moving forward, because he can't control how she thinks, what she thinks. That doesn't matter. He can only control himself. The reality is he's in a legally binding contract with this woman that only benefits her more and more as time goes on.
You're stuck in the institution.
Devoid of emotion. Go ahead.
You're stuck in the institution of it. I personally feel marriage is an institution. You get caged in, and you're trying to clean up everything that's inside that cage while you're not freeing yourself. And I'm not even going to say do it for your children. You need to do the right thing, of course, and be an adult, but you need to do it for yourself. You're going to feel better about yourself. I don't want to come at you, oh, you alcoholic or whatever. People do substances to suppress and depress their spirit, their awakening, their everything. And she's probably done exactly what all these men are saying. She told the whole family. And it's unfortunate and it is very heartbreaking. But I feel like if you can lift yourself up, nobody else can make you stand on your own 2 feet. You're going to look back at this and you're going to go, wow, that happened for so many good reasons. I know it's hard to see right now, but you are going to come into your own. You need to face all these shadows. You just keep dwelling in it.
I just wish we could do it as a team. It just pisses me off so much. Like,
of course you wish you can do it, and I wish I had $1 million and fucking 10 East Asian broads fucking blowing me right now, dude.
I just wish she could see it. It's just like I wish she could see the conspiracies. It's like I wish she could see like a man and a woman are meant to be together, and it's like she's just like blind.
You got to get out of this mindset, Bearsworth, of wishing. It's not about what you wish. That's why I'm playing I Dream a Genie right now. You're not. This isn't I Dream a Genie. You can't just wish your life away, bro.
You're living on the hopium of what was. You got to do what is right now. Do you take a hard look at yourself? No, you keep taking a hard look at your past, a hard look of what it could be, what it was. What are you? What are you? What are you?
Oh, but it's so fucked up because, like, I think if we could make it through it, it could make a relationship so much stronger.
I think I butt my head. I'm butting my head against a wall. I think I butt. Get out of your head.
I know this is my addiction to Owen Benjamin, because Owen Benjamin is always like, just make it work, just tough.
Right, I was going to tell you about that, Bearsworth. Hold on, I'm gonna cut my music for this because I was thinking this, Bearsworth, and you actually just said it, which kind of surprises me, dude. Because you know what the right thing to do is, but you have this connection to Owen who's gonna just dogmatically fucking tell you to make it work. Why? Because his marriage is working right now. Who's to say his man? Hold on, I'm not done, Bearsworth. Now you've got me fucking fired up. We don't know that his marriage is working right now. We don't know that his marriage is going to be working in 5 or 10 years from now. And regardless, it doesn't matter what Owen Benjamin has to say, dude. And you just nailed it. You have a fucking fantasy built up in you're interpreting reality in a way that's dysfunctional, homie. Because you just admitted what I was thinking for the last fucking half hour, that your connection to Owen Benjamin is this dogmatic religiosity, fucking churchianity, thoughts on marriage, because they conveniently suit his narrative, which makes him lots of fucking shekels, is what you're caught up in. When with your reality is quite fucking different, dude.
Boom. It's hard. Man, it's hard.
Yeah,
we get it.
It's going to be hard to get out of the fantasy, dude. We all want to live in a fantasy and an imagination of a perfect world, but that's not what it is, dude. You have a hard reality in front of you, and you're going to have hard choices to make. And about your kids, what do you think is healthier for kids? To see their father empowered, taking his power back in his life, being the man that he needs to be as he stands up for himself and what's right for him morally, or to see a man who's dejected, who's being run by his wife, who's losing a little bit of his soul every day? What do you think's better for your kids, dude? This ideology that you need to stick in your marriage because that's what your fucking grandparents did, or that's what Owen Benjamin is advocating. It falls apart to all logical and reasoning. Do you know I'm talking about logical fallacies on my program for a reason? It's not just because about the stupid globe. It's for everything, for things like this. It's because your thinking right now is dysfunctional, and it's keeping you in your dysfunction. Go ahead, Heidi. Please help me. Heidi, you're muted if you're there. Heidi might be gone. I'm going to get you off the screen, Heidi. I'll bring you up. Try to work on your issues. There she goes.
I don't know, Z. I'm sorry to cause shit on your show and stuff, but I don't know. I also have her rebuttal too, because I do love her. I've been with her for 15 years, and like we do love each other at like a core, like from the past. Like we do know each other so well. And it's just like, I know if we could get through this fucked up shit that we've gone through for like 3 or 4 years, and I do blame it on the cancer too, because man, like the chemo fucking destroyed her brain also, man. Like she was never a thinker, and we never had great conversations before she got chemo. Man, the chemo like totally fucked her in the head. That's what I blame all of this shit on.
Right, but she made a decision to get the chemo because here's the thing, dude. Her mindset, her consciousness, her beliefs led to her thoughts, which led to her decisions. Her belief set preceded her decision to get the chemo. You're talking about the symptoms, but you're not addressing the underlying cause, which is her paradigm, bro. Let's see if Joe Cool could get his tech to work because he's coming in and out. You there, Joe Cool? You're coming in and out.
Yeah, I'm out here in the desert, man. It's rough.
Wait, there he is. There he is.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Joe Cool. You have a chance to speak now without all the craziness. Yeah, what's your thoughts, homie?
My thoughts are maybe it's because it's early in the morning or something, but you, Bear Claw, whatever your name is, Bearsworth, you are a lucky fuck. I've never heard such good fucking advice from a bunch of knuckleheads early in the morning in my life. These guys are absolutely killing it, and that girl got up here and cemented it. I got a question. Are you guys still living together, or are you in the process of separating?
No, my whole goal, man. We're still living together, and that's been my whole thing for like a year and a half. She's been telling me to get the fuck out, and she wants to divorce, but I blamed it on the chemo, and so no, we're still trying to make it work.
That's
we live together.
The drugs and shit will change, and I would not want to advise you to bail on a marriage, but you can't chase no one. It's not a thing. It's not manly. If you have a best friend, he needs to kick you in your ass right now. You don't chase no one who doesn't want you. It's not even a thing. Even if it's your wife, when she say, nigga, leave, where is your pride? Yeah, untangle whatever fucking what Z was talking about, whatever institution entanglements you have left, untangle them and move on about your business, man. Be a man. And all of that shit. I think Lou now was Lou or whoever the fuck, man is the head of the fucking household. You try to do that shit 50-50, but you always have that 1%, man, that you have to man up and run your fucking household. You don't let a woman tell you what to do. She don't run shit unless you're allowing her to run some shit, man. You fucking find your balls to leave that fucking house, man. Start over, man. That's my opinion, man. And these guys are giving better advice than me. They've been killing that girl Alpha, who was just up here. Hats off. I'll be stalking you, girl. You're very smart.
Man, I love my life. I got
well, Z. You're doing well.
17.
You, Joe Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Oh man, you guys are scaring me.
It's Divine Spirit 313. I just
My
changed
parents
it
have
when I
been telling me this. fuck. Anyways.
Right,
Fuck that.
you're scared because it's fearful, man. Because you're gonna have to do something. Your
Well, but
life's gonna have to change in a big way, homie. That's
my whole
scary.
life, my whole house. I built everything on my property. I built a shed. I built fucking yard. I
Right.
built like
But
12
Bill Cliff,
gardens.
let me
I
asking
fucking-
you, what are you building where it counts? Because when I read what I consider to be very enlightening scripture in the New Testament, it tells me where should our treasures be built? Because you just told me about all your treasures here. But where are your treasures in the kingdom of God, in the kingdom of heaven? Are you building your treasures there? Because your treasure's your soul. Your treasure is your morals, your ethics, your values and principle. That's your treasure. You just gave me a bunch of earthly shit that really shouldn't fucking mean a damn thing to you. What does it benefit a man to gain the world but sell his soul and lose it in the process? Let me bring up some other people.
Yeah.
Come on, dude.
Hey, I got a question. So you said you built a lot of stuff. Who owns the property? Do you joint own it, or what's the deal?
He's married, okay?
Yeah.
Okay,
He
so
built-
why doesn't she leave? If she doesn't want to
He's
be with
married.
you anymore, why doesn't she leave? Why does it have to be you? And
You
why-
asked a good question, Snafu. It's exactly right, dude.
Yeah, man, the whole family, I drink too much, and so like everybody takes her side that I drink too much.
Again, legally, drinking doesn't matter. Why, as you as a man, if the woman doesn't want to be with you and you're worried about your property, oh, I built this, I built that, so you're worried about your shit. Okay, what I see is, like Z said, you can't get over this, and maybe it's something drastic that, like, you seeing her with another man or some crazy shit. That would help. But like the fact is, bro, is if a woman sat there and said, "Hey, get out," and you're worried about your property, then why? If you were that worried, most men would just leave. If whatever. But or you say, "Well, how about you leave?"
Well, no, but it's
Your
my
kid's okay.
the life of the kids. And all I want to do is be a family man. And that's the thing, maybe too. Also with the addiction with Owen, like it's like all I want to be is a family, like Owen. Like I want to be a perfect family, and that's all I want.
But here's
that's all
the
I
thing.
want.
Hold
Like,
on, God, I'm gonna flip out. I'm gonna flip out this morning. The perfect family. You want the perfect family like Owen. You realize that nobody has the perfect family. I'm not even going to say that he's presenting the perfect family, but you're interpreting as that, dude. I guarantee you there's no perfect family, even with your boy Owen, bro.
Yeah,
you're
right.
You've put a man and a lifestyle on a pedestal because you're caught up in it, dude. And you're too caught up in it. And this is why Snafu and I keep talking about the cult mentality, Snafu. It's because of what we see here. Because when you're young and everything's fine, oh yeah, it's all whatever Owen says makes sense. The perfect family. When you see a man living in the reality that bears worth is living, and you realize the flaw in that whole presentation, and I'm fucking tired of it.
I see excuses made, man. And I think the biggest thing is you're the one hurting. You're the one who's putting yourself in a mental fucktard. The woman clearly said, I don't want you there. If it's the property, things like that, you as a man have rights. You as a man should stand up and be that man and give the woman what she wants. She doesn't want to be with you, then give it to her. But you could probably better from this. And I think listening to Z and others, and don't be afraid. Like, it's good that you came and said something, but what you're doing is you're making excuses, bro. And would she fight for you like you're sitting here acting like she would, or what? No. The answer is no. You know that. Okay? She told you get out. It's in your head. And it's a fantasy, and it's like you got to get over it. And like I said, some men, it takes that girl to have another cock in her mouth or cheat. Some men, they'll never, even with that, they still simp. You can take charge. And if you're worried about your property, then the question should be, well, you want to leave me, so how about you leave? I'm not the one who wanted to leave the situation. It's as Z said, you're married. You know what, Z, it's good to see you bring this, people like this. You're right. People get cult mentality. People get this weird thing of not wanting to look at reality. And it hurts. Z, like you said, this is going to hurt, bro. It's going to be bad. But in the end, dude, you're really only hurting yourself long term. Because I know you're probably thinking about this every minute. He's probably thinking about this every minute of every day of every second. Aren't you? Be real about this.
Of course.
Are you? Is this constantly on your mind, dude? 24/7.
Of course it is, dude.
Oh man, for like 2 years. It's been like
There you go.
the last
2 years.
2 years has been the worst 2 years,
bro. You gonna
of
keep
my
it
whole
going?
fucking life.
I'm telling you, man. You got to respect yourself. You have to respect yourself, and she obviously has no respect for you. And if it's the excuses you're making, I, as a man, would say, well, if I'm worried about my property, I built this, then I'm going to say, hey, bitch, you want to leave? Then leave. Then leave.
Is this the Snafu show, or when did it
you know what? You gave him bad advice, period, for men, period, all around the world. Saying that women, your advice is the worst advice I've ever heard a man give another man who's in a really bad situation. You basically fucking said, let the bitch play him and continue to keep fucking with him.
Jack, can I speak for a second, Jack?
Terrible.
Jack, can I speak for a second? Let me get this right. Me telling Bearsworth,
a man who drinks his own piss too, though. I just want to let him know this is coming from a man who drinks his own piss. So relationship advice, you know.
You lost your fucking mind.
I don't drink my own piss.
I don't drink my own piss, fuckhead.
Yeah, you do. You said you did multiple times.
I did not say that. Ever.
No, don't lie.
Find it, and I'll give you my farm. You can find me saying that.
You and we're talking about urine therapy.
Go ahead and find it. I'll give you my farm. It's for sale right now. Find a fucking clip.
You'll get. Oh man.
Okay, guys,
Find
this is sounding like show. Like, calm the fuck down.
You and him had a long conversation about drinking your own piss,
Shut
Lou.
this fucker up for a second. He never yields. He doesn't have a fucking yield button. It doesn't exist. So telling Bearsworth to be a better man is bad advice.
No, you said you said the women choose him.
The women are always going to be the chooser, whether you,
But who is he choosing? He's the one who chooses if that woman's going to choose him or not.
Hey, fuckface. If you want to fuck a bitch, right? And she doesn't want to fuck you, what are you going to do?
I'm going to go fuck a different bitch.
You got two choices.
I'm going to go fuck a different
Either
bitch.
you leave her
I'm going to fuck a bitch that wants to fuck.
Either you leave her alone or you rape her or you walk away, obviously. So who's the decider? It's her. It's always been that way.
You were the decider by saying, I want to fuck this bitch. So you approached the bitch. You decided if I'm approaching her as the man.
Look at the stupidity.
Hey, who came first? Adam or Eve?
Can I talk for 2 seconds?
No, because he doesn't have a fucking yield button.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, life is crazy and it's interesting. It's way more complex than like you guys even know. Like everything's so fucking crazy, man.
We've been waiting for you.
Where the kisses are hers and sweet company.
I like the music.
Come on, dance on the floor.
Take a step that is new.
Take a step that is new.
People of both
Face that meet your face, three's company too.
You'll see that
Nothing's upon you, nothing's come for you. Down at our rendezvous, three's company too.
down at our rendezvous.
Down at our rendezvous, three's company too. Doesn't that make you feel good? Makes me feel good. Welcome to the life of Bearsworth. Just drink a bunch of alcohol all day and let your wife and her family control all your decisions. Yeah, my grandparents were married, so that means I need to be married. That's right, everybody. We're gonna live our lives like it's fucking 1947. Once married, always married, till death to us part. That's right. Yeah, did you miss the old times? Bearsworth, living in the past, dude. You're just living in the past, homie. You know? Sorry, Bearsworth. You're living in a fucking fantasy built to you fucking by Owen Benjamin. Hey, Owen, how should I live my life? So, Owen, is you just pretend like your life is perfect? That like you're like this homesteading guy when you got a bunch of people just supplying you with shekels and You're going to just tell me that marriage is a tradition and a sacred bond that can't be broken? I'm just going to continue to let my wife fucking fuck me up the ass with no Vaseline as she's getting fucking piped down by her work husband, taking all my money and turning all my friends and family against me. Yeah, that's my plan, because I'm Bearsworth and my grandparents were married their whole life. Give me a break, guys. It's not the old time anymore. Things are way different now. It's not old timey shit anymore. We're living in a new age, guys. That's right, guys. Owen Benjamin says that marriage is sacred. So I'm just going to continue to get wasted day after day, month after month, year after year. And I'm not going to do anything about it. I'm just going to keep hoping that my wife changes and comes around to some degree of sanity, even though she got clot-shotted up as soon as she could. But I'm going to blame it on everything I possibly can. I'm basically going to say that she has no accountability whatsoever, and while at the same time basically absolving myself of all accountability and responsibility. Why not? Because I'm a bear. And once I fucking basically clung on to Owen Benjamin and I imprinted on him because he said some truth or shit that opened my mind, I'm now imprinted on him for the rest of my life. And I'm just going to live my life like I think Owen would do. Yeah! Tonight, we have Rodney Dangerfield and the comedic stylings of Don Rickles. And then Owen Benjamin, who eventually is going to leave Hollywood and then basically become his own cult leader. So idiots like Bearsworth will just follow whatever the fuck he says. Yeah, come on, everybody. We're having fun here on Zeke's show.
Which one are you, Z? Look, here's Rob Cleveland. Look, it's all lumpy and fucking. It's got a big head on it. Look. Or are you this one, Z? This one is you, right? This little one here.
I'll let you decide, Lou.
Look,
Where's
this one? This one
is that you?
That's me. Z.
That's you. The one with the fucking what's it called? Priapism? What's it called? Priapism or something?
Peronis.
Pierogius. Of course.
Peronis.
Right.
Peronis. Got it right.
But for you, it's pierogi because we know about pierogi gate. Will you fucking confirm or deny that when you ate your daughter's pierogies, you ate the fucking pierogies frozen? You were drunk and stoned, and you had a pierogi sickle. We all remember that.
No, fuckface. And by the way, it wasn't pierogies. It was pierogi. One pierogi off a fucking plate of pierogies.
Who the fuck just eats one pierogi, Lou? No one's ever just eaten a pierogi. And it must have been frozen because you didn't just cook one pierogi.
She cooked them, fuckhead. And then they ate. I came in. I was hungry. I saw pierogies. I grabbed one. And she was saving them for the next day's fucking lunch or some stupid thing. And then she didn't even eat them. I took one. And it became fucking like a fucking, I don't know. Okay, I shouldn't have did that. I get that. But I didn't deserve the insanity that ensued.
Hold on, I'm trying to mess with your audio. You're fine, but it's a little choppy.
It's these bro. I got some problem with electrical shit. I don't care what anybody thinks.
I fixed it. I already fixed it on my end. It's
they think I'm fucking crazy, but every fucking thing electrical fucks up around me. I can never wear a watch because of it. A beautiful watch I get for fucking whatever, a present. It's fucked in a month. It doesn't work. And nobody can fix it.
Yeah, maybe it's that magnetic personality you have. It's fucking
I'm fucking north to everybody else's north, so I repel everybody.
Yeah, sounds like it.
No, that's not true. I have a lot of friends. I have a lot of people that keep coming to me.
What's your deal, man? You seem like you're going through some life changes yourself, kind of for the positive, dude.
Oh yeah, bro. Hey, it's all positive, bro. It's all positive, bro. I'm. See, you know what I'm like? I'm kind of like I don't know if I had to give it to a movie or something. It's like I'll take a lot of shit in my life, and I'll put myself through a lot of shit. But I'm also I have a certain point. It's like I don't know, it's like a certain level that when I reach that level, I make a choice and I follow through on that choice. I just choose and I move forward and that's it. And sometimes it may take a lot. And sometimes I may suffer a lot for it. But once I make the choice, I move forward. And that's the choice I've made, to move forward. And I'm thankful to my daughter for being part of this experience. I'm actually thankful to her, right? Like I said before, I think in Paul's stream, I don't think she deserves or doesn't deserve. I don't even know what the right word is, but she's always been a catalyst for me to change in some way, shape, or form. Large life changes she's inspired in my life. Right now, it's a role that she doesn't even know she has, but it's there, and so I'm grateful. I'm grateful. It still doesn't take away from the fact that she fucking bullshits sometimes and fucking gaslights sometimes. That's her. She's got to deal with that. Right? She's gone from here, so I don't have to deal with that. Benton, stop fucking whining. What's he saying now down there? I can't even see it.
Benton has it out for you. He basically says,
what's the matter at hand?
Well, about the topic of Bearsworth. Well, all right, Benton, let's go back to Bearsworth, dude. Since it's, you got the floor up here, Lou. It's so obvious to so many. It doesn't mean we're all right. Of like, what this dude's going through, the situation that he's in. Lou, I feel for the guy, dude. Because
I do too.
Yeah, dude, I feel for him, bro.
I do. I was there. Obviously, I was there. I had 4 kids to deal with. Very small. Patricia was like 9, 10 years old. The rest were like, younger than her. So it was not an easy fucking thing to go through. And I'm not saying by any means that I dealt with it gracefully. Sometimes I didn't. Other times I did. Right? But sure, of course, what he's going through. But it doesn't change the fact that he needs to be a better man, despite, even if she's a fucking broken hole. Even if they never have sex again, even if she leaves or he leaves, he still has to be a better man.
Right.
He's sitting around drunk,
regardless. Right.
Fantasizing about shit that's not going to happen anymore. Creating this stupid fucking idea in his mind that it's all going to be fucking butterflies and unicorn farts someday. So he has to be better.
Right. Oh no, I hear something. Do you hear that, Lou?
Oh my God, that's gotta be fucking Cage.
No, it's fucking
Cage.
It's Cage. Cage is here, everybody. Of course it's Cage. All of a sudden, Lou, I got a creepy feeling come over me, and I look down and it's Cage. Nobody can hear you, Cage, even over your stupid hate frequency, dude. But I need fucking guy, dude. What do you want, Cage? You fucking lunatic, dude! Don't make me scream at you.
Cage, what do you mean? Wait a minute. Enough of his bullshit. You came here. What do you mean enough of his bullshit? You're the one that showed up. Yeah, but you showed up here to say enough of his bullshit? Come on, that doesn't make sense, bro.
She doesn't want to have a conversation. She's afraid of the truth. She's like a little fucking
What's the truth? Okay, give us the truth.
No, what do you want to talk about?
I don't know. Give us just the truth. What's the truth? Should Bearsworth fucking stand up?
What are you looking into?
Or should he hold his wife's fucking
here, I'll give you the truth. When you get roadkill,
he's got to hold. He's got to hold her lover.
You can only.
He's got to hold her lover's balls.
Listen.
What?
Lou.
Why? What did you? I can't hear you.
All right, you cannot
say
hear
that again. What?
You have to look at the road.
Hold on 1 second. We can't hear. Would you give me a second, Cage? Hold on 1 second. Cage. Give us 1 second here.
Fucking idiot.
Hold on 1 second. Give us a second. Okay.
You have to see if the road.
Wait. I wasn't ready. Hold on, Cage. Fuck, I wasn't ready.
get rid of that weirdo. Cage, you're insane, Cage. I see you guys in the back. I'm gonna let you up in a second. Hold on. Like Cage is gonna come on and give everybody the truth. Like Cage knows what the truth is. Okay, Cage, sure.
Yeah, and enough of your bullshit. Enough of your bullshit, Z.
Yeah, let's bring up London Man. What's up, London Man? What are you doing?
What's going on? Mic check, mic check. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you're good. You're good. All good.
No, I can't hear you. Can you talk louder?
You.
Look, I'm gonna boot you out of here. Get ahead of yourself. Don't get ahead of yourself.
Oh man. Hey, I've just noticed something down in the bottom right of the StreamYard. You can actually talk from StreamYard now. Is that a new thing?
Yeah, you can meet on chat. Yeah, that's been maybe for a couple weeks now. Yep.
Okay, salute to that.
So you can do what? Sorry, you can do what with StreamYards? Say that again.
You can comment in the StreamYard. Comment, yes,
right.
in the StreamYard now.
So Lou, like how you're on, if you not only can you see everybody's chats, you can participate in the chat from StreamYard. I believe that's what it is.
Yes.
I can't see the chat.
Hold on, Lou. Don't make this all
sorry.
Don't piss me off. London Man, what's popping, dude? What's on your mind this morning?
Well, not much, Z. I just come up to show some love because I didn't have no work today. I'm free this morning, so I thought let me come and show some love. I've been with the children, been with them. They've just gone out with their grandparents now. So
wait, didn't you say you're a black man?
That's racist, Lou. Now I'm gonna have to put Lou in the back. Now you're gonna.
Oh, come on! I just fucking.
I'll let you back up, but you're gonna have to get punished now. Hold on. Sorry, London Man. I didn't want you to be exposed to such bigotry and hatred by the likes of Lou Bass. Cool. Well, listen, I got stay up here. I got Uncle Rick in the back. We're gonna let Uncle Rick up.
There you go.
And I have his theme music that I get to debut now. I get to debut Uncle Rick's theme music. Been waiting for this. Let me pull it up here. Where is it? Here it is. Yeah, Uncle Rick, everybody. You may know him as the Bear Jew in chat. I know him as Uncle Rick. He used to be known as our singer. And we have him backstage. I think we should let him up. We might as well. I mean, we got his music going. Everybody needs a theme song. London, I got to work on a theme song for you, dude.
No problem.
I have to find the perfect song that encapsulates London Man, dude. I don't know. I'll have to think about it. But London, let's see how he's doing. Uncle Rick, welcome back to the show, dude. How's it going, man?
Could you hear me? How's it going, Z?
Yeah.
You hear
good.
me?
I hear you well. What's up, man?
Good. Nothing much, man. I like your show. It's really great. I'm usually not up. I mean, I'm up in the morning, but I'm just too busy doing things to come on. But I have a few minutes this morning.
Cool. What's your take on the whole Bearsworth conversation? I thought it was fascinating, Uncle Rick, and I think it's a topic that should be addressed, dude. What are your thoughts, man?
Yeah, I totally agree. He should cut his losses, get his kids, and get out, because she's just Meshuggah. She doesn't have it all together, and she's shot. So everything she does is like irritating him or goes against what he wishes. So there's not too much going on there. There's no love relationship.
It doesn't seem like a marriage. At this point, it's only a marriage on paper, dude.
Agreed.
It's only a marriage to the state, whatever state you're in. Other than that, it's no marriage. He does not have a wife anymore. He's playing the role of husband without a wife, dude. He's in a really rough situation, bro. Go ahead, man. Sorry.
Yeah, he has to take his children and save them, because that's the most important thing now is his children. Hopefully they're not shot, and hopefully they stay away from her also, because she's just going to diminish in time. And it sounds like she's not all there. So no matter what he has, his children are the most important thing. The material things he has is just, he can replace all that. But save your children, man. That's the biggest thing, in my opinion.
Right, because he made the argument, which many men make, is they stay for the children. And I was trying to show and say, look, what's more important to your children? That you stay in a dysfunctional marriage and keep showing them? All he's doing is demonstrating and modeling dysfunctional behavior for his children at this point. So it doesn't have to be like that. He can turn it around. He could change it from that to a situation where they could see their father as a man who sticks up for his morals and his values. It's not even about like integrity and ego. It's really about doing what one feels is right, living in the way which is right. And, he does need to get his shit together, but that shouldn't preclude him from proceeding down the path that he knows he needs to take. And every day that he waits is another day where he's just more and more entrenched in this really horrible situation.
Yeah, I agree. He has to be proactive in this situation. It's he's in a rock. He's caught between a rock and a hard place. See, if he just loves her still, it's blind love. It's foolish love. There's nothing really intimate there. Really deep spiritually. They have nothing going on. I agree.
Let's let Lou Bass back up. He's fired up as fuck this morning.
Yeah, I'm here.
What's going on, Lou?
Hey, Singer. What's up, buddy? What's up?
All right. How you doing?
I'm fucking stoned. I took 2 puffs of this fucking joint and I'm stoned.
Okay.
Holy fuck! I had to lie. I had to lie down for a second. No, but I'm not. I'm not getting. I'm not getting anxiety, which is amazing. I stopped smoking weed when I was like 17 because of the anxiety it was giving me, like 16, 17. I remember, the first time it happened, I was driving, right? I'm driving. I had this little Toyota, a Volkswagen Rabbit, and it was standard, right? And I got all my buddies in the back. We're like overloaded. There's like 4 people in the back, 2 in the front. We're going someplace, I don't know where. And I'm driving, and I'm a great driver, if I do say so myself. And I get onto the the Don Valley. It's a highway over here. And I can't shift. I don't know how to shift anymore. And it's like, okay, I get off the other exit, and then I come around. I get right back on the same exit. I'm still fucking around with the shifter, grinding, fucking stall. I get on this exit and off this exit, the same exit, like 5 times, and they're all laughing, right? So they're like, I'm getting no information out of them. They're laughing their heads off. I can't shift. I'm going in and out of a clover leaf on the highway. And it's like my world, I didn't know what, I couldn't stop either. I had to keep going and they're all laughing at me. So it was traumatizing, right? And then the next time after that, I was smoking a joint with a kid. I was a kid next to the school. And all of a sudden, I can't speak anymore. Like, I don't know the word. And this was a girl that I really liked at the time, right? And I'm babbling. I could get a fucking word out. She's looking at me like, what the fuck?
Lou, I find myself, Lou, that being high and like sex doesn't mix well with me. Like when I'm high, like that's one of the reasons why I'm trying to limit my cannabis stuff, because I'll smoke a joint and then I just want to chill. I'm not trying to like do anything in that romantic way, man. It's like maybe that's why they're like promoting cannabis on everybody. Some people disagree. They say they're fine with it, but I'm not like,
I don't personally. I agree with you. I definitely couldn't be fucking around with somebody when I'm stoned. I'm just not. But I'll tell you one thing, since I have been smoking it, what has it been, a month now, 2 months, not even, I don't know, a month and a half. it's like I feel better, eh? Like little aches and pains that I was getting all the time, I'm not getting as much. I mean, they're still there. I'm older, but it's like I feel better. I always thought that weed was a gift from God, personally, right? I don't think smoking, again, is probably not the best way to do it, but I
Well,
don't know. I'm
it
worried
calms your
about fucking
nerves.
eating it.
It kind of puts you in a sedated state, you know. You're more mellow. You have less
I think
anxiety
it
when you
also
smoke.
physically does stuff for you. Like I've been making weed
Yeah.
oil for years, like Rick Simpson oil. I've been making it for years, like from my mother because of her arthritis. And her arthritis is like within 2 weeks of taking a little dab under her tongue, her wedding ring just was like falling off. Her arthritis, her fingers were like back to normal. She could do shit. She was having such pain. I said, Ma, just try it. Just try it. What's the most that's gonna happen? You're gonna get a little high. Big deal. Go to sleep. And yeah, and so the first
Lou,
night
let me
she
ask you a
called me.
question, dude. Because I asked this of my Australian friend the other day who, like, I asked him, because there's a lot of Italians in Australia, and I wonder, do they make traditional Italian food or is it different? So I'm going to ask you the same thing in Canada. Is there like a Canadian version of Italian cuisine? Or is it just
Bro,
straight up Italian, you know?
Let me tell you something. From my experience in because I have relatives in Australia, I have relatives in New York City, I have relatives all over the States, California. And I can tell you from my experience, knowing them all, the only ones that are still traditional with the food, with everything, are the ones in Canada. The States, forget about it.
Wow.
They are completely Americanized. The Aussies, a little bit better. They still have some of the old ways. They still might make their own sauce, but none of them are speaking Italian. None of them are doing, like the old things. But a few things they do. In the States, it's like they're completely Americanized. It's a total different version of what Italians generally are. Even the Italian government came to Canada to talk to the older Italians because they were still speaking Italian. My grandfather lived here for 60 years, never spoke English, right? And so they came here to record the old dialects because we come from Calabria and a specific region in Calabria where we have a specific way of speaking. Like from town to town, they spoke differently back then. And they're trying to record all these old dialects, and they're finding them here in Canada and
So
barely nowhere else.
So you're saying that weird Canadian affect that all you have didn't catch on to the Italians? That's a good thing, I guess.
It really didn't. It really didn't. Like to this day, like you get, okay, I may be the only one in my family that fluently speaks Italian because I was always with my grandfather, and my grandfather didn't even speak English.
Oh,
So I had to learn, right? Yeah, I had to learn to communicate. My cousins, my sisters, they can understand, but they can barely, they're doing the parlare and, they're talking like that kind of thing. They might say a few words, but nothing much, right? I'm the only one who's fluent. But
Lou, you represent your Guido heritage well. Any final thoughts? Because we're going to end the show, brother.
The only thing I would say is to Bearsworth, man, no matter what the fucking woman does, you have to still be a better man. Stop drinking. It gets your fucking... If she's doing the bills, if she's actually paying the bills, stop that.
Oh, God.
Stop that. Because I get a sense you're the guy who takes your paycheck home, drops it in her lap, and goes to the fucking garage to have a beer.
Definitely.
Right? You're not fucking taking control of your life. You're not being a man, so she doesn't fucking want you. In a way, she's almost right. That's all I got to say.
Get out of here. Get out of here. People always want to blame the man. In the end, it's like we always have to come back to blaming the man. Always. Like it was always his fault. I'm not saying you necessarily have to blame the woman. Uncle Rick, I think society's engineered in a way to have marriage be a divisive, adversarial type of relationship. I think they're doing it to us on purpose. So why do we have to blame Bearsworth? Why do we even have to blame his wife? Can't we just say he's in an untenable situation that would benefit him at this point to move on? Your thoughts, Uncle Rick?
Yes, definitely. I agree with you. You know, Mary Tyler Moore show, That Girl, all these TV shows in the 70s always promoted single women doing their own thing, that they could live without a man. And I agree with you. Social engineering plays a big role in this. Z. So it's really not his fault or her fault. It's the situation that arose, and he has to get out of it. But he has to stop drinking, because the minute you start drinking, you're like, you're fucked. You're fucked.
Right.
Drinking is number one. That's his number one love, is drinking. If you're an alcoholic, you know.
It's true. He's gonna have to, like, because that's something he can do right away, man. That's something that he has absolute control over. He can control his hand from not picking up that bottle, not bringing it to his mouth, and not. There's a lot of steps in between the point where that alcohol goes from the store shelf down your fucking throat. There's a lot of steps that need to happen, Bears.
100%.
You know what I'm saying, dude?
I work in a grocery store, and at 9 o'clock in the morning, the liquor store opens up, which is next door to the grocery store. We also have a wine section in the grocery store, but the liquor store, you got to see people crawling out of their cars at 9 o'clock in the morning to get their alcohol. That is fucking pathetic. 9 o'clock, they start drinking by 9:30. They open up the bottle in the car. I see it. Wow. So yeah, it's a big problem. And how come you think they didn't close the liquor stores down during the scamdemic? Right.
Right. People were more boozed up than ever during that thing. All right, Uncle Rick.
Correct.
We'll talk to you later, homie. Thanks for coming.
See, a pleasure. Take care.
Peace, Uncle Rick.
Yeah, London, man. I mean, look, I'm not acquainted with your personal situation. I don't know if you're married. I don't know what the deal is, dude. But just kind of looking at this guy Bearsworth, man. What are your thoughts, dude? I mean, a lot of it was kind of tough to watch from him, because I think he knows. It's almost watching somebody who's in denial. You know, they say the stages of grief. One of them's denial, man. There's also depression. What's your take, dude? Because he's got to be in grief, man. A guy like Bearsworth, when he gets married to have a true marriage, till death to his part. I don't doubt that was his intention. But now he's faced with a different circumstance, and he has no choice but to respond. He has to. Go ahead. Sorry, your thoughts.
Well, first of all, I really hope this is how would you say it, be a bit non-bit that all these broken guys are doing. I really hope it's a bit non-bit that they're doing, because it shows a lot of it shows everybody's characters really when they come up and they start, you know, opening their hearts and showing us what's going on. It's not a good look. You're supposed to have yourself proper like in check before you come out here and start interacting with people. And a lot of these people are half broken and they want full respect from us. I don't know what they're looking for when they bring us all these problems and information. For me, I'm just here to have a good time, bro. I'm not really here to hear all of that crap. If that's what they're going through, they got to handle it. They got to handle it, you know, handle it respectfully as well. And yeah, just seek a bit of help when you can, but know where to get your help from. Not everyone's gonna want to help you out here. They're gonna fucking dish you out here, bro. So
right, exactly. Yeah. And that's one of the unfortunate things that people have to discover, man. I had to discover it in my own life, is really that there's nobody who's going to take accountability for your life except yourself. Nobody. And nobody should. That's not what this walk is about. You know, and nobody was born with you. You got birthed into this world. It was just you. And guess what? You want to have till death do you part. Well, even if you are till death do you part, death is going to part you. And you're out of here by yourself. And there's only going to have to be one person who has to answer. And then, you know, we don't have to have this idea that you're going to die and be judged by some, you know, almighty creator being. You might even just judge yourself when you're done. Or it just may be that when you leave this incarnation, the energy that you have cultivated on this journey is probably what transitions with you, is the energy. So I would ask like a Bearsworth or anybody in his situation, what energy is he embodying at this moment in his life? And is that the energy that he would want to leave this realm with? But yeah, London, much love, dude. Any final thoughts today before we end it? We're going to wrap it.
No, just want to acknowledge the name switch from Rob. That's dope. You know we love you out here, Rob. You know we love you. Hey, Rob, I want to keep it real. You one of the favorite ones from the Addams family, bro. And you're the realest out of that family. I keep it real. I keep it all the way real, Rob. Don't ever change, yeah? Just get out the feelings. Well, I know you're out the feelings. Just stay how you are now, bro. We want you this way, right? Stay how you are, bro. Salutes to you and your family. And much love to you, Z.
Much love, London Man. Yeah, much love. London Man, everybody. Referencing the name that he's given to Rob Cleveland, his new name, Rebecca. Basically, imagining Rob, instead of a blacked up dready guy, as a pretty much a white blonde chick from the valley. Funny stuff. All right, everybody. That brings us to the end of another Z show. Brings us to the end of another Z week. Well, it's Friday. At least that's what they tell me. So let's do it all again Monday morning, 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, everybody. And until then, and as they say, parting is such sweet sorrow. But I think we'll all be all right. Enjoy your time, everybody. And remember to take care of yourselves and each other. All right, guys. Peace out.